All right. Yeah, we'll start now. Streaming anxiety already, bro. What the fuck? I'm already nervous. What the hell? All right. Calm. Um, yo, guys, welcome to this week's Word of Mouth podcast. Today, this is episode 2, and we have with us Rio DarkS1t himself and a special guest, A1mstar, with us today. Today's podcast is going to be diving into our special guest and friend A1mstar. A1mstar, how are you?
Fine, how are you guys?
We're great. Awesome. Obviously, tell us your name, your age, what team you play for.
Um, I think the team's quite obvious. But I play for Heat Infernos. I am currently in the duelist of the team. I am 25 years old. Obviously, yeah, I'm a bit old and stuff, but it is what it is. And yeah, I just play too much Valorant, to be honest. And I'm just trying to take it to the next level. But yeah, how are you guys?
That's
I'm
awesome.
I'm blessed, man. I'm just chilling, Just another podcast. We're back on it again. Nice to be back. So yeah, so yeah.
That's good.
Me.
That's good. It's good to have you back again, Rio. I
hmm
was a little worried earlier when
I
a
had to
little
jump over
worried.
some hoops. I had to jump over some hoops, but we
Yeah,
managed to get in
yeah.
the end.
I know. It will be quite fruitful in the future.
Mm.
But yeah. Uh, Obviously, we're gonna get straight into it after uh I talk about my stuff as well. I'm doing good as well. I'm excited about today and all the following weeks of our podcast too. Hopefully, it runs as smoothly with myself because I'm starting to stutter a lot. But yeah, hopefully get into the flow of it. Um, yeah. Since it's A1mstar podcast today, where we're gonna talk all about him, he's gonna get all the attention and the spotlight. So hopefully, he doesn't get too nervous like I am. But we're gonna start off with our first topic and question, which is talking about the beginning of when you started playing Valorant. So, how did you first hear about Valorant, and how did you like the game back then?
Well, I used to play League of Legends a lot, and obviously I was always in tune of what Riot was doing. Like they started a new fighting game. They started to branch out of just their League of Legends realm. And obviously I played CSGO at the same time as well. So I was really like into like FPSs and stuff. So when like Valorant was making a competitive like a basically a challenger for CSGO, like I literally knew about it almost instantly because I was in both realms of the gaming.
All
So
right.
yeah, like that's literally how I found out about Valorant. I found out how to get into the beta. You just AFK on the stream, you know, and AFK got a key, started playing it, and then yeah, that's how I started playing Valorant.
Your keys. I remember I got my first key like within the first 2 days straight away, and then I
Yeah,
started playing it.
it was pretty random. It wasn't like a time thing. It was literally just you randomly get a key.
What sort of streamers do you remember watching
I
for
don't
those
remember to be
keys?
honest. I just put on every stream, just to get the key.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
I had
Me,
two
me,
different accounts, and
me
then
yeah.
I had two different
Yeah,
accounts logged on, and went to sleep, and I woke up and got a key.
the mission was to get the key, not to watch anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts. He had his phone, he had a laptop, he had his PC, and all that stuff. Um, Next question was, what was your experience like ever since, and what milestones have you reached since then? So obviously, there's a lot to talk about there. So if you can, uh, rip up piece by piece, that'd be great.
Sorry, kind of. Could you repeat the question, please?
Yeah. What was your experience like from the start of the game, and what milestones have you reached since then?
Well, I'll say from my experience at the beginning of the game, I didn't like it at all.
Mm,
Because I was from CS:GO, so if you really like, I put like how many hours I got in CS:GO, like over 2,000 hours.
wow.
I'm pretty sure it's way over 2,000 hours, and I used to like play on Face It a lot. So yeah, I really had like the way of how a FPS should be. I was already used to it, the CS:GO way, if you
Mm,
know what that means. And then when I go into Valorant, and I'm seeing like different movement speeds, different recoil. The audio from the default Vandal sounds way like horrendous than like worse than the audio from an AK-47 in CS:GO. Like it was just so different, and it was like the game's abilities. The smokes was a big problem because the smokes in CS:GO are usually like a normal smoke,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah,
smokes in Valorant are like some sphere or like a hemisphere.
yeah,
So like it was really weird to be honest, like the mechanics of the smokes and stuff. But then again, in time, like I noticed it was kind of like a CS:GO, but it's like abilities and agents, and there's gonna be metas, and there's gonna be certain agents that are good on certain maps.
yeah,
Then like in CS:GO, like every character is just the same. You just buy stuff from the in-game shop. So that's why I started to like invest more time into Valorant and learn about it. Then I saw the potential. I think First Strike let me see how like the best potential the game had, because like you could literally see how people who like synchronize like site takes. I remember I think it was on
mm,
C on Haven when I watched these teams. 'Cause back when the game first came out, Breach was always used. There was no Sky, there was no KO, there was just Breach and a Sova. So when I saw how Haven was played as Breach and Sova, when the dart landed, Breach stun, Breach flash, Jet dash, it looks really good. So that's when I started to see, okay, cool, this is a game I want to actually put in time, because it actually requires a little bit more brain power, and it's still got the same fundamentals as aiming wise, even though it wasn't perfect. But yeah,
yeah. It's
we
never
can get into
perfect,
that
is it?
after. As for milestones, I didn't really set myself any milestones, so I can't really just say yeah. Like I'll be making stuff up if I just said, oh yeah, I planned for this, so I got this. No, I didn't really plan to get anywhere at the game.
Mm,
It was just something that I started to like really bang out the game during like COVID, because I
mm.
literally had nothing else to do. Like lockdown was serious in the UK. There's no point in me going outside and trying to have like, a little motive to get like. I think the authorities were finding a lot of money if you were caught outside. So I wasn't trying to take that L, especially
True,
during COVID.
true.
And
No
plus, I was
one.
still working part time from home as well during COVID. So it was one of those things where I was working, but I had nowhere to play. So I decided to just invest myself in Valorant. And yeah, that's where the level 500 came from, to be honest, or
Level
level 400.
500.
Level 400. When they gave the levels, yeah, I logged on and I was level 400, so it just boosted me straight up. And then from 400 now, I've gone up to 580 something. So yeah,
Similar to my experience. I started at level 245 ish,
yeah,
and now I'm like level 425. But yeah, lockdown was peak. Lockdown was There was a double lockdown, and people used to like get arrested for breaking the rules in lockdown. So that's when we realized, yeah, staying at home was the best way to go. And
yeah.
obviously now it looks very fruitful for you because of the position you are in right now, which you very really and truly deserve. Um, yeah. Uh, even I understand you didn't make any plans for milestones when you started playing this game. And you wasn't playing it very seriously at the start of the game. Was there any other um points you reached where you thought, oh, okay, this is pretty sick, or like, okay, maybe I should play this really competitively? At what points were you deciding those mindsets?
Okay, so I originally when I was playing CS:GO, I joined like a different. I know I said that I was playing on Face It, and the reason why I moved on to Face It is because I wanted to try get into CS:GO team play, right? And
Yeah.
obviously I understand that and Face It there was a route. You have to join a hub that has different divisions, and the highest division, if you win it, you get a FPL C ticket, and then from the FPL C ticket, you get to play with like it's basically Radiant lobbies in CS:GO. So that's something that I tried to move forward with CS. Like that was in the same summer. I made the decision to try go like professional in one esport, like to try my best, right?
Mm.
So um, obviously there was no Valorant at the time. It was just CS:GO. I decided to do CS, but then Valorant came out now, and the hub that I was playing in was kind of dead. So it kind of died out for no reason. It's like some internal issues. I don't want to get into that.
All right.
And yeah, I just started to play Valorant, and then I said, okay, cool. It's a new game. Riot said they're gonna focus on esports, so I'm gonna focus on this game and try my best. And from then on, here I am now. So yeah, I knew a couple people from from the CSGO hub, who also moved over to Valorant, and they gave me a link, like a link where everyone was going for looking for team and stuff like that. Joined the link, did my own post. Then I was contacted by, forgot the actual name, but I think it was like it was like a Spanish org or something. And
All right.
yeah, but so we joined them. It was just a group of 5 people. That's how I met Noir. Noir was there, Leon was there,
Mm.
so Nuxius, me, and we had a couple other players. But I know, and Adwani, and then I know one player dropped out. So then I contacted Pello, as you know, Pello,
Yeah.
because I knew him from like a group of IRLs who also play games. So they kind of and then obviously I said, Cole Pello, do you looking to play for a team? I noticed you're playing the game because he
Wait,
played
you've met
CS:GO.
Pella before?
No. But he's in a Discord group with my IRLs, a couple of IRLs that
Oh.
know me, and they're from the area that I'm from as well.
Yeah.
So it's all like mutuals, and
Shout out to them.
yeah, from that on it was me, Pello, Nuxius, Adwani, and Noir. And then that we started training together with that. Then we had Chris Zeradu, who's the coach.
Mm.
He came out of nowhere and he just came and said, "Yo, guys, I'm looking to start a project." And then we accepted the project. But obviously, I think 2 people couldn't continue. So it was Adwani. Actually, 3 people couldn't continue, to be honest. But Noir stayed for, as far as I'm concerned, Noir stayed as well. And then we got Hate God. Hate God came into the
Yeah,
mix.
I
And I met
remember
him.
him.
I met Hate God in ranked. And obviously, that was the most fun. Like, bro, that's when stuff's like. But when Hate God joined the team, like, yeah, we had a lot. We had a lot of fun.
That
Trust me,
guy was
man.
a funny guy.
Yeah, that guy. He's your whole vibe, man. Like
Yeah.
like I would literally think he was from London. That's how good. Like not like London accent and stuff, but his
Yeah.
character was so
He
like he
was
probably can get on with a lot of people.
he was so like down to earth as well.
Yeah. He could
He's
probably get on with a lot of people. He's the one he tried. I was kind of hot headed back then,
mm,
and he kind of like would cool you down. Like he's always focused and composed, and that was something I found like, yeah, this guy's a cool guy. Like he's that guy. You know what I mean? He's that guy.
yeah.
But yeah, so when Hate got joined, yeah, that's when we started to actually we did our first VCT. I think it was Icebox, and I hated that Icebox map when it first came out. And yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately, we didn't really get results, but it's expected, bro. Like
Mm.
we're jumping in like an official game with no official background for me at least. So it was a good learning experience for that. And then, but we continued with Chris. We started going hard. We started to do a lot of scrims. We started to practice a lot. Then yeah, so I would say that was a milestone. You know, one of the milestones I think when we had to play Excel,
Yeah.
the first ever team of Excel. So I forgot who their actual team was, but I remember me and Hate God was streaming, and because they wasn't streaming for some reason, they shouted I think one of the players back then, I think it was David P, shouted Maya's Twitch out and Hate God's Twitch out, and
Yeah, I
we
remember
both
those
immediately
days.
shot to like 300 plus viewers, 300
I
like
remember.
up, and all of their fans will come in to watch us watch obviously XL play their first time, right? It was their
Mm.
first ever official, and anyway we played there. Um, so we took one map from them, which was Ascent, and I made some nice plays on that map. We all played good on that map, and then obviously they took the rest of the other 2 maps because honestly we wasn't really prepared to go. Like, you know, the ones like you focus so much
Yeah.
in the game that you don't focus so much on winning the series, you know, because with that inexperience.
Yeah, you zoned in.
Yeah, we learned our lesson. Obviously, we learned we have to be more prepared on all maps. And yeah, so it was a good experience then. And then the second, I think, memorable moments when we played versus Heretics first off.
Yeah, I remember Heretics.
That was a very good game, I guess. For me, like we got to a point where the commentators were like, yeah, it's gonna be a more dominant map from them, blah blah blah. And then they got to the point where literally it was 10-10 or something. And it was one of those ones where it was down to one lurk. I think the Silver turned around at the right moment when Pella was behind like 3 of them when they were about to retake A.
Mm.
Like imagine Silver just droned A and then he stopped his drone and just turned around, bro.
Oof.
Yeah, and then he had literally Cypher was behind 3 of them. Like they literally ran it, they were just retaking. It was so that round
Wow,
would have,
that's a
yeah, that round would have easily like got it for us, but obviously that is what it is, and then we obviously lost the game and lost the series, but it was just a good it's a good experience, to be honest. When you play very, really good games, you always remember them, and I think that's part of the reason why I played Valorant as well.
Yeah,
Like ranked is, bro, like ranked and competitive play are so entirely different. It's insane. Like I don't think it should be that different, but it makes sense where people who practice and try to perfect something, and then
play less ranked.
people are just jumping on just for the sake of playing. Obviously, the experience will be different,
Yeah, I
but
agree. I
I
agree.
really like the competitive play. I like the competitive aspect of it. So
I agree. I agree for sure. For sure. And I also agree that ranked and competitive play is very, very different.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah,
I remember watching those Heretics and XL games back before, way before Foxy and Alive were in XL. And David P was in Heretics, yeah.
um,
The viewership was high on both your streams, even though the games weren't won. You didn't lose that much, and there wasn't much that you lost. You gained experience and all those impressions, etc. The old channels were in your chat. All those fans, there wasn't a lot of hate or anything like that. They just saw you as a new up and coming player, and I feel like that's very respectable in anyone's case.
I mean, I don't think they saw me as an up and coming player. I think on the baseline of it, they literally just came because XL didn't have anyone streaming their matches, and people wanted to see XL's first match, and
Yeah,
it wasn't being streamed by a Valorant Twitch, so they came to see. Obviously, they wanted to see the game regardless. So I think it wasn't about me as the player; it was more about me being a window to showcase their skill, to showcase their debut. I think that's all it was.
I see. That makes sense. That makes sense. All right. Moving on. We have a redeemed podcast question for you, Aim. Philic
yeah.
asked you, what what's a big part of other games like CS or Apex that you would like to see integrated into Valorant? Taking, for example, either the spectator mode in CS or some movement in from Apex.
So I'm not really a Apex player. Like I haven't really delved into Apex at the level I have on Valorant. I think there's a lot of movement stuff I don't understand about Apex, so I can't really, speak on it confidently. But I would say like features for Valorant I want them to add is first like cascading bans, like when we go into agent select, especially in rank, just have a ban, not maybe a ban system, but a cascading pick sort of. Yeah, first pick picks whoever, second pick that way that you're less likely to get someone to troll, like almost like a draft pick for Valorant, because right now someone can pre-fire like a chamber's head, and then he gets chamber every time. Like I don't think, I think that's just really really like a flaw in like the matchmaking, because insta-locking's obviously been a big issue from League of Legends, as I remember.
Yeah,
People just insta-lock something, insta-lock ADC or insta-lock top. And I feel like if it's part of the same company, they should already knew the issues that arose in their previous, like when you've done something and then you do it again, you learn from you learn from all the inconveniences. And I
yeah.
feel like it's pretty weird that ranked is still the mess. It could have been easily avoided if you had cascading picks. That's one thing I want implemented. Second thing is map picks as well. I think, yeah, I think forcing players to learn new maps, but at the same time it affecting their rank and their standing on the leaderboard is not. To me, I don't think that's fair on the player, to be honest. Because if you put it this way, okay, to play ranked, everyone's free to play the ranked, right? Everybody, you don't have to be a certain level to play ranked. But back in the day, you don't have to like grind the game. You don't have to practice the map. You can literally just press play, and then let's say now, right now, how many of you guys know how to play Pearl perfectly? Not that many,
Nobody.
is it?
No.
So how many of you guys have got queued in Pearl and lost a stupid amount of RR? And there's many
Anyone.
more people in the same boat as you who don't know the map, but just play it because they have to, because then dodging and getting a cooldown is just an inconvenience and you just want to play. So that as well, I don't. I want it to change, because fair enough, you want to be innovative and like obviously put in new maps, and obviously people don't want them. People might just say they don't like the map because it's new, so we're just gonna force people to play the map. But no, like people just don't want to lose their RR. That's all I think, man.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, bro, when you're losing 20 and gaining 16, you're not gonna want to lose, regardless of what map it is. If it's the best map in the world, if you don't know how to play it confidently, and then your teammates probably don't, and then the enemy team has one guy who knows what to do and he's IGLing and they win the round, like it doesn't really mean they're better. It just means he knows the map better than you. So that's something that, yeah, that's something that I don't like. Another thing about the duo queue, a duo and 5-stack, I don't like that you can 5-stack and you're still on the same leaderboards as someone who's duo or solo. Because in League of Legends, they literally have two separate queues. You have flex queue and then you have solo duo. And the leaderboards for solo and duo are different to the leaderboards of flex queue. But in Valorant, it's all one leaderboard, so people can just 5-stack and then gain like top 80, but they've never played against a top 1 guy or a top 200 guy. They've just 5-stacked all the way up. And I feel like it's very inaccurate, to be honest. Like if you want to be in a competitive game, but some people will get in like, let's say, let me talk about a competitive advantage. You have much more control over the outcome of the game if you play with 4 other people that you're comfortable with, that you know, and have played with multiple times before, than if you queue into 4 random people. When you queue into 4 random people, there's a chance that some of them are trolls. One of them didn't warm up. One of them's having a bad day. One of them's having a life day. One of them is completely boosted. You never know. It's a complete dash roll. So that in itself kind of makes it more like a higher incentive for you to just not do solo duo and just play in a 5-stack to get your rank up. I feel like there should be 2 different leaderboards. There should be a 5-stack. Maybe you can make a team, make a little mini team inside of Valorant, call yourself whatever name, then 5-stack, and then your whole 5-stack has a rank. Cool, that would make more sense. But for 5 people to get individual rank as queuing as 5 isn't, and you're not guaranteed to play against another 5-stack. Sometimes you get 2 duos, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's just things that I would like change. Obviously, I don't want to get into the ping thing because that's gonna be annoying, bro. Like everyone
The
knows.
ping thing, I agree.
Everyone knows, bro. Everyone knows. Like me, like I don't know. Like maybe I'm lucky that I have good connection, but I'm also cursed because like every game that I've known, like competitive game where it's like a shooter, that is you're versus other people, the person with the lowest ping should have no issues with the game.
Yeah.
But here comes Valorant running along, and if you have the lowest ping, you're basically fucked, bro. Like, excuse my language, sorry for swearing, bro, but like, I'm telling you, when you like, not a lot of people experience the game at a sub 10 ping. It only goes 2 ways. It only goes 2 ways. You hit your shots, or you're getting clapped continuously. You can't TP with chamber. You can't jet dash. You're getting backtracked, bro.
When a
It's
12
crazy.
ping London player goes to Madrid for a day, it's long, bro.
It's like when you play. Like, bro, it's like you're playing with people. You're shooting in the past, bro. Like as soon as someone sees you, they'll spray you, but you're already dead on their screen, fam. Like it's so weird. It's such a weird experience. I understand people who have, on the flip side, people who play on those high pings. They're like, oh, yeah, you don't want to play the game, but I have. Nadurii, you have. I've made you queue on Istanbul, and you've just been like, what the hell?
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? It's so free. This don't make sense. That bullet didn't connect. How did I get killed?
Literally. You will shoot at someone, and then they will move, and they'll still die. Like, it's just such a weird dynamic of the game, and it's like, I don't know, man. For me, I might be biased because I have low ping, but I'm thinking it's much easier because, like, I don't know what VPN service can get you. Like, okay, cool. The ping advantage is usually like under 10, right? Yeah, like in the normal games, if you have under 10 ping, okay, cool, you have a crazy advantage, okay? But let's look at the people. How common is it to have under 10 ping? It's not really common,
Not
is it?
common.
It's not common, but how common is it to have over 50?
Very common.
Anyone can have over 50 ping. You just have to download something, like some 4K videos or whatever. You can literally go on a VPN and connect from somewhere a bit further away. Like, it's so easy to manipulate your ping to go higher, but not lower. So for me, my whole thing is like, if it's easy to get an advantage on a game, then the game is kind of flawed competitively. And I feel like it's one of those I'm not sure how hard the netcode is to change and revert that change, but I feel like it puts a lot of people off the game. especially ranked, it puts a lot of people off the game. If I have to queue in Istanbul or Stockholm to actually play fair, because think about it, I don't ever get that 60 ping advantage. Even if I queue in Istanbul, I'll get 50 to 40. And
Yeah.
even 50 to 40 or 30 to 40 is such a different experience. Like with 30 ping, I hit so many shots. It's much less punishing from whiffing because I don't know. Like if you whiff on 7 ping, you're dead 100%. But if you whiff on 30 ping, you have I don't know. It just you have more chance to hit the shot.
You can even have like a lower margin for error as well. You can even kill jets while they're dashing away, or like chambers right before they TP.
Because
Like
I even
it frees
remember,
time.
I think it was on screen. I think he kind of got annoyed at the game. He made a post and he's like, he tested it
Yeah.
when
I
one guy
remember
with low ping shoots at someone with 60 ping at the same time, the 60 ping guy will always kill you. And he said he tested it, and he
Even
made a
the
whole tweet
swinging as
about it.
well.
Yeah, the swinging thing, everyone's seen the
Please.
video, bro. They still you see their foot and they see your whole body, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the things that. And imagine you have two players, okay? One player's low ping, one player's high ping. The low ping, you both played the exact same amount of time. You've both done the exact same amount of stuff. But then when the guy's peeking you, you see his foot and he sees your whole body. Of course, the guy with 60 ping is gonna win every fucking time.
Yeah.
And that's been tested. It's been proven. There's videos in 4K out, and it's just something that's really, really making the game like a lot of players like that ever have to manipulate it by playing on servers that are not theirs just to gain the advantage, or they just don't play or they don't take it serious, and that's something that could easily be avoided, man, in my eyes. But yeah,
such a strange thing because like when I played CS, and like I don't remember it being like this bad in terms of like the lower the ping, the higher chance of your head getting rocked. I don't remember it being like that when I played CS. It was obviously the opposite way around, really.
bro, remember the first like month of the play banging out this game, I was so baffled sometimes how I died, bro. Like Razes would be in mid-air, one tapping me, fam, as soon as they land. No, you know how when you jump and you land, you have to wait for your gun to like
Like
the
reset.
recoil to just reset. There was no reset. I would literally call. Let me wait for this guy to land and let me burst his head. Nope. He lands, boom, I'm dead. It's instantly, every time. I was like, what's going on?
Because he already
Then I started
landed
to
on
see
the
love.
floor when you saw him
Yeah,
there.
so basically he lands on the floor before you. So the server shows that he landed when he gets his accuracy back. So to me, that's not fair, bro. That doesn't make any sense. Because if you're a player who like wants to wait for players to land, so you pre-aim their head when he lands to get an easy shot, but you lose the timing because the server's not accurate. Like visually, it's not visually accurate. It's called visual clarity. That's what Variant call it, visual clarity, which it has improved recently. But I do believe like the fact that that was there early on is just crazy to me, man. Like I understand they were trying to be in what's that word again? Innovative, if that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Um, they were trying to say, cool, we want to stop Pika's advantage, we want to stop Jiggle Peak and stuff like that. But then, okay, cool, they went and tried it, and now they have all these issues that players are talking about, and they have done nothing about it. That kind of worries me, to be honest.
It's taking them like a whole 2
Because like
years.
even on LAN, like LAN is not even dedicated servers. So people at LAN, like imagine you're sitting right next to a person, the server's right in front of you, but you got 30 ping.
Yeah.
To me, that's also crazy. Like, how come there's no infrastructure? So they could be still working on it, because if they haven't got any dedicated servers for like custom games and custom lobbies where um like someone hosts it on an external server, like let's say Battlefield does and other games, you know, like I don't know if they're ever going to implement that stuff. But the fact that lands and stuff, like you still have ping and lands, is kind of crazy to me. But yeah, moving on.
Going back to your point about map picks.
Yeah.
At that when you were talking about that, I then thought about a question. Don't you think that choosing like having the best maps that you want to play tilts the balance between winning and losing your win rate? Because everyone's supposed to have a set quote unquote 50% win rate.
Who said that?
A Riot dev on Twitter, Riot Evermore. He said everyone is everyone has to have like a 50% balanced win rate for fairness.
I understand that, to be honest, because I would say if you release a new map, right?
Yeah.
And you don't give everyone access to that map. I'm talking about the influencer client. You don't give everyone access to that new map. You only give a certain amount of people influencers. And then the map comes out and you leave it for a week to get into the competitive pool. Not everyone plays the game competitively, but everyone can play rank. So people who have work, people who have jobs, people who go to school during the week haven't got time to grind out the new map that comes out. So when they go and play it in ranked, they'll be playing against people who have grinded out the map, people who don't know what they're doing on the map, and people who just don't like playing the map, don't enjoy it. Right? Because there's a reason
Yeah.
why there's map and ban. It's a competitive game, right? In the esports, there's a reason why there's a competitive ban for different maps. There's a reason why there's a veto, right?
Yeah.
And in CSGO, they kind of allowed you to pick the maps you want to play. Just like, let's say you're playing an official, you get to choose what map you have to play. They never force you to play all the maps and then say, you know what, you just press Q. We're going to give you a random ass map. We're going to give you random ass teammates, and then we're going to see how it goes. I don't think that helps the win rate at all. I think that makes the win rate a bit more random. You know, it makes it a bit more random because you have less factors to control. If you could control the map, you then have a more likely, like a higher likelihood of people who want to play the same map as you. So the vibe is good. Number one, they would have a set agent and set players on that agent, right?
Yeah.
That could work out. So therefore, you have much more, and you get the same on the enemy team. So you have much more of a competitive game, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You have a much more nice game. Both teams enjoying the map. Both teams showcasing different things they've thought of the map, instead of them randomly getting pearl and everyone just running it down doing random stuff.
Yeah.
I think that will make the game much more better than just forcing people to play a map that they don't enjoy. Like, people been hating Breeze for so long and they removed Split instead of Breeze.
Yeah. I agree. I think I agree with them removing one map, but for a certain map to be taken back by Riot for Split, that I'm not too clear about. Maybe there is a certain reason that we don't know of that wasn't clear to us all yet, but I could find out. I could find out in research soon. But I don't know exactly why split up maps were removed. I know it's an old map, but having the perfect number of maps for Veto is really, really good for competitive play. I did have a really good question come up to mind when you were speaking about set plays aim. This question can either be comfortable for you for ranked or for competitive play. What do you think about what do you think about when it comes to set plays? Do you like to have certain comps for each map, or do you like to see flexible ones and new ones every time?
Would you like what I prefer or what it is?
What you prefer?
So what I prefer is, like, you have set roles for each map. So not set agents or set comps, like set roles. So let's say you have an initiator like Sova. Like Sova and Fade is a very good example. Sova and Fade, they're different agents, but they can do the same thing. They both can reveal. They both use lineups. They both have space clearing utility, the drone and the dogs, and they both have something that can, a utility used to like a pull, like Fade's decay pull.
Yeah.
Or Silver's shock darts, that's something that's good. That's a very, very good, like, that will fit the role of initiator. But unfortunately, as for now, the role of initiator is a bit wider it's a bit wider, and the roles are not really,
Yeah, they're intended.
like let's say I give League of Legends as an example. AD carry. Most AD carries are ranged. Most AD carries are squishy. Most AD carries have an ability that has a dash and escape.
Yeah.
So let's say move it to initiators now. If they follow the same route, all initiators will have a reveal. All initiators will have like a CC ability, or saying on all initiators will have a info gathering ability, like a dog, silver drone, or a sky dog.
Yeah,
So stuff like that, like Sky was very good, but let's say Breach now. Breach is in his own lane. Breach and KO in their own lanes, which is kind of confused to me. They shouldn't really be classed in the same class as Silver and Fade, you know?
all
If
right.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you think about the abilities, Silver, Fade, and Sky, they have more reconnaissance abilities than KO and Breach. So it's kind of weird they're still put into the same umbrella, if you know what I mean.
I agree with you. I
So
agree.
when I say set roles, like I think that every map should have an initiator, right? Every map should have let's say a sentinel. Every map should have a controller, obviously. Every map should have a duelist and either a flasher or another duelist. That's what I believe. That's what I think. But obviously, the metas now have changed where pro teams have experimented with comps,
With no
double control,
duelists.
double controller, triple initiator, triple sentinel, stuff like that. So the game's really going in a different direction, which is okay. You just have to see what happens. But
Yeah.
I would prefer it to be as like just like as it is in League. Like you have top lane, jungle, support, mid, ADC. Those are 5 different roles that people all the characters are gonna have certain characteristics. They can master those characteristics, and then I think the gameplay will be much more intense and much more competitive. But right now, like it's like flashes and initiators are under the same umbrella, which shouldn't be. It just doesn't fit.
Okay.
Mm.
That's an interesting take. Doesn't fit.
Because if you look at Breach has nothing to gather info,
No, he doesn't.
but he still classes initiator. Like you have you have the KO knife, you have the Sky Dog, you have the Fade Dog, and you have the Silver Drone,
Correct.
and then you have Breach.
There's nothing. None of his abilities will. Uh, it will do what Initiator does, which is retaking space and taking uh certain areas, important areas when needed. But it doesn't locate enemies like all the other
Well,
agents do.
it's more of a like you have like a breach. So say if you go like A on fracture, right? The way like breach does, he'll initiate the stun, which will like most likely signal to your team to either like push up or like gather space, like you said. So he's like that E ability is the one that just like starts the fight. You know what I'm saying? But he doesn't gather any info, like you
Yeah,
guys are saying.
yeah,
But it's under the initiator role, like of him like initiating that first stun, it allows the other people like duelists to be able to like get ground or like take space because he is initiating that a certain ability so that a team could like push up and get the space. But he's not in for gathering, so it's like more of a lucky dip because like if you're breach and you do that E ability and you stun, and there's no one there, they're not dazed or anything like that, you could even miss it exactly as well. So it's not really, it's just more of a lucky dip if they're playing it or not.
so yeah, I agree. Personally, I feel like he's rather better put off in a subcategory for an initiator, but he has a completely different role in an initiator. Whereas he takes space, he debilitates enemies, he sets up plays for the duelists, etc. Much rather you'd put him with as a second initiator, of course. Like Liftnix just said, no, welcome Liftnix to the stream. How you doing? He said Raze is better than Breach for initiator, basically. But it's kind of it's kind of funny. But like I get what you mean.
How can a Boombot have eyes, fam? That's crazy.
What
Yeah, let's
happened
talk about Raze. Let's talk about Raze, bro.
You want to talk about Raze? All right, your Raze.
Oh, my Raze. Don't worry about my Raze.
This is your podcast. It's all about you.
Yeah. Okay. So Raze is to me very controversial agent, to be honest, because yeah, a lot of people hate that Raze actually does damage. Like he has a grenade, has a boombot that blows up and chases you, has a double satchels that he can use as C4 blast packs, and he can also bounce in front of you and stuff like that. So Raze is such a very good very good agent, to be honest. Very good design, because regardless of how much damage the grenade does, it's not an impact grenade. It's not gonna it's not a grenade that you can literally just cook and then throw it and it instantly blows up. It's a grenade that has a set amount of time that it blows up, so it does require skill. and it is pretty obvious when a nade is coming for you, right?
Yeah.
But thing about Raze is that his satchels have such a high skill gap. If you look at people like Grey FPS, you look at people like Flights, like they've mastered the satchels and they can do crazy stuff off the satchels. And
Yeah.
a lot of people can do that. And it takes a lot of training to learn how to satchel with Raze. There's not that many people who can play Raze. There's not that many people who can uh alt animation cancel. You know, when you pop your ult and you satchel alt satchel,
Yeah.
and then your ult doesn't have the delay anymore, you can shoot it. So stuff like that it should create such a high skill ceiling.
And your skill ceiling is very high. Actually, sorry for interrupting you, but you have like every time I watch you in your matches when you're playing Raze, since you're the duelist role now, I always feel like I'm watching in ×2 speed, especially when you're Raze ulting, when you're taking space, when you're fighting, even your aim as well. It feels a lot faster than the average person. The way you aim, the way you use utility, it's inhuman. Honest to God, like the way you fight, the way you aim trigger, the way you flick, the way you track. There's literally almost no unnecessary movement at all. Like how do you like? Are you confident in thinking that you're like that, or do you feel like you're still lacking in that certain aspect? Because it's very like I could just watch someone's clip with no overlay, no stream title, no nothing, and it just be a Valorant clip. And if it was yours, I would be able to tell it to you.
Well, I think just training, doing a lot of like training, as I said, putting in the hours in to learn the timing of the satchels, the boombot lineups, because I think boombot lineups are very important, and that's something that I only started caring about recently. I would just throw the boombot and hope it goes the right way. But obviously, I learned how lineups really just make that easy. Just throw it on one part of the map and it will clear. Like use the boombot as like a second buddy, you know. It clears this corner, so you don't have to check the corner. You could check another corner, you know.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like that. And learning, I don't think my Raze is there yet. I think it's nowhere near. I don't even think my aim is there yet as well because I've recently changed my sense and went to like high DPI, so I'm still getting used to that.
yeah,
Um, but the ults, I really think the ults, I really like the ults. Like the animation cancel, I think catch people off guard, especially if you do it mid-second satchel. Like if you do it first satchel, people have time to move. But if you do it like if you animation cancel on the second satchel, bro, you catch a lot of people off guard.
yeah. A lot of people
But
don't know how to do that.
thing I don't like is that the Raze ult is very, very trash at the moment. It's very bad.
Mm.
You'll literally throw the ult at someone and it will just do like 120 damage. Like it's so weird. Like I remember there was clips where a breach ulted me on A and I satcheled onto A long and I caught them all slipping and I got a 4K with one ult.
Wow.
Because you know how they tried to capitalize on the breach ult,
Yeah,
but I used my Raze ult and shot it where they're all running
that's how it
towards
works.
me. Yeah, and it just killed all four. But now you shoot in between two people and you won't even kill the two people. You just get damage on both. It's weird. It's very, very nerfed at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like it's unintended. I don't feel like that should
And I
be
remember I was watching VRL and they were kind of mocking how a bazooka can you can stand like 2 steps behind a bazooka shot and you won't even take any damage. And that's what they were memeing about. And I just found that so funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
I
That's
believe
peak.
if it costs this much with ultimate orbs, it should do what the job should do. It should blow people up. But right
Yeah,
now, people don't even fear Raze ult. They will stand there and spray you down while you're in the
I'll
air.
just
Like,
bucky you in it, Rio.
yeah, it's unlucky.
Yeah, Rio has confidence, man. He swings Razors with buckies and he kills everyone. Especially me. There's 3 consecutive clips in one game where I played against Rio where I ult him with Razor with my satchels or insta ult with no satchels. He'll just run up and wide swing in the bucky and kill me.
I jumped over the rocket.
He
And I
jumps over
shot
the
you in
rocket and
back.
buckies me in one clip. It's actually so messed up.
Yeah, the Raze ult is not really a threat. If someone's got good aim, the Raze
Yeah,
ult is not a threat. Especially like if they're playing Reyna. They
yeah.
will literally stand in the open, kill you, and dismiss before your rocket even goes halfway.
So we'll move on now. We have a lot of stocked up podcast questions.
I was just gonna ask actually something.
Yeah.
Like, so Aim, so what do you think about like in queue terms of having a role selection queue? So like you queue into a role, let's say you want to play a duelist, you want to play an initiator, you can play controller. How do you feel like that? Because Overwatch implemented something like that. And then the way they did it was since there was an influx of duelists, they implemented a priority queue, but you get a pass. But I want to see how you think about that.
So yeah, I would think that'll be a very good thing, but there's only one big problem. As we stated before, like the roles don't solidify. Like there's roles which are not pretty clear what role they are. I'll give another example. Sentinel. If someone queues for a Sentinel role, are they gonna pick Sage or they're gonna pick Cypher Chamber or a Killjoy? They're entirely different.
Mm.
If you think about it. Cypher has 2 traps and a camera. Killjoy has a turret that can see, and it also is classed as a trap, and Killjoy has mollies. Sage just has a wall. So does a wall make you a Sentinel compared to all the other other Sentinels have? So if someone
No.
queued for a Sentinel now, and he could just be insta-locking Sage, and if someone was queuing for Initiator now, and he just insta-locking Breach, and you lose on Icebox because Breach is useless on Icebox, it's not really going to work out, is it?
Mm.
Yeah.
So if they fix up the roles, I think they need to change. They need to add Initiators to Breach, and they create only characters like Breach can cast as Initiator. And then they can have another role for like just have maybe a recon role, like for
Mm.
Fade and Sova, and Sky can come in the middle like hybrid recon slash initiator, because Sky is both, to be honest.
Mm.
Sky can flash, Sky gets info from the flash, Sky can heal, Sky can use the dog as well to stun people, and it's also a drone. So I don't know. Sky is the only one I think that falls under both umbrellas, but the rest are entirely separate.
Mm.
I really like Sky.
For Overwatch, if you buy like a pass, is that you pay it with real money?
So if you play like a quick play, you get like a priority queue pass for it, but you could buy it as well. But you could also just play like a quick play and then you just you pick a role that's normally not picked. So if you play like tank or a support, then you get a pass so you can play damage if you really wanted to.
No, League did it the best. They have autofill.
Mm.
They have
Okay.
autofill. So you select your roles and then autofill is enabled. And then let's say they find everyone's role but yours, they just fill you into support. And then once you play that support game, you get priority for your role, your main roles, your main role picks for next game or for a few games. And that's what they were doing. And I think they should implement that. But to be honest, I don't think that would work in this game because the amount of people that don't know how to play controller is wild. I think that's a big problem. They need to update controllers so the controllers are much more easier to play. Because I feel like there's a reason why no one likes playing smokes. Like at any level, people call that boring.
Because they
They
don't.
say
Yeah.
they call it boring. It's the circles on the mini maps are really not clear. To smoke with Omen's kind of insane. You have to enter the matrix just to place a smoke down. Brimstone, you have to go on some
Some
iPad
iPad.
2
iPad.
with the lowest iOS. Like you have to literally move the stuff, put it on Google Maps, put the smokes on Google Maps, stuff like that. It takes ages to put a smoke on Brim, bro.
All right.
Like you'd have to pre-fight. You have to literally play Osu just to put your smokes in time.
Mm.
So like stuff like that is needless for agent. Like I guarantee this will make Brim one of the best agents ever. Imagine at the start of the game, you have 3 presets. Let's say you're playing Haven. You have 3 presets. You have you preset the Haven smoke. You preset the B site smokes. You preset the A site smokes. And literally, when you're going to site, you press one button.
Oh,
You
so like
press
in the
like
buy
you press your
phase.
smokes. You press your
Mm.
smokes. You press your smokes. Then you press A. And you press 3 for A. And then the smokes automatically go down for A. If you know what I mean. Heaven and
Yeah.
Seed get smoked straight away. But you have to obviously set up before the game, innit? Before the round. And I
Yeah.
think that would make it much more easier. The same way Asher can place stars down before the round, Brim should be able to place smokes down before the round on his iPad.
That's smart.
And that will make Brimstone way like he could just literally press one button and he's ready to help someone to get on site. But what's happening now is he's jiggle peeking with his iPad now, waiting for his team to suddenly go in. He clicks it now, then he has to run up, pull out his gun now. It's just long.
Yeah, man. Honestly, the iPad needs an update. You can schedule tweets. Schedule
Literally,
tweets. Put the
you can
when the
schedule
time
smokes,
comes.
bro.
Yeah, yeah.
You can schedule smokes.
That sounds funny.
But yeah, they have to do a lot of work on the controller role because not a lot of
Yeah.
people like playing it. It's a big problem. It's the
Brim,
biggest problem in ranked.
Brim doesn't seem like an iPad guy, to be honest. He doesn't seem like he uses social media a lot. So I feel like
He's a boomer.
tablet, maybe like a, you know what I'm saying? Like a radar, like a Dragon Ball radar, you know what I'm saying? But
I think
that's
like,
interesting,
no,
actually. A lot of
I
people,
like.
yeah.
Okay. No, go ahead. Go ahead. It's
No,
fine.
carry on, my bad.
No, I was just gonna say, like, in terms of when I first started out playing like the game, and I remember like if there's like a collision, so let's say we talk about Pearl, right? You go try to go, I think it's A site, and you want to smoke the top, and then there's like that little overlap of like the map where it's like you have it at the top and then there's one at the
Yeah.
bottom. That's annoying. The same thing for Haven when you want to smoke Heaven. You have to go at the very far end, but I didn't know that when I first played Brim on Haven. So when I smoked it, it went down to the bottom of the site.
In
So it was
hell.
just like, yeah. So I think it just needs like a maybe even a layer thing. So if you can keep like the style of how he smokes, but let's say you have like a layer tab, so you can have the bottom of the map, and then you have something that's elevated, so you can smoke that instead. That may help people like decipher where they're actually smoking. But I
It
don't know.
really, yeah, it really needs changing.
I just
Maybe,
think they
maybe
need to
like a,
make it easier.
yeah, maybe like a 3D iPad.
Yeah.
Just make it easier for all the players so people play it.
Yeah, a lot of controller players don't feel like there's any freedom on right in that role when there really is, but they just don't see it, in my opinion. I feel a lot of freedom when I play Astro. So like, if you have 4 stars, you use 2 for a site, 1 for like a pull concussor, 1 for yourself, maybe 1 for the bomb as well, to delay with the pull, etc. Omen, 1 smoke for CT side, 1 smoke for yourself to make a really interesting hero play or whatever. But yeah, that's just how it is. That's just how it is at state. No one wants to play controller.
I just think it's for me, like Aim said, I just think it's boring to play. I'm not even gonna lie. I could play it, but it's just boring. I just don't feel like I'm more of a person that likes to either be at the front or be at you can be at the back of a controller, but the ability of like pulling up your smokes,
Yeah,
smoking, then throwing another smoke, then going to sight, I just find it boring, man. That's just me though.
hopefully it will change. Hopefully it will change.
Make it way more interesting, to be honest.
Yeah, there should be, especially with the new agent as well. The new controller agent that will come.
Mage.
Yeah. Next question. We got a podcast question from Abzinho. You know how sticky it gets. What is the biggest challenge you face focusing on Val only as a job, A1mstar?
Oh, this isn't my only job, bro. But Val, you just gotta, you can't have like a normal job. You can't have like a normal 9 to 5. You will like if you have a normal 9 to 5, you're not gonna. It's gonna be very hard for you to get far on Valorant, to be honest. Mainly because of the hours that people you're gonna be playing against put in are gonna be full-time hours. They're gonna be spending much more time on the game than you. They're gonna be when they play the game, they're gonna be not tired. They're not gonna have any other priorities than the game. So if you want to have a best chance of playing versus those people, you need to try to get kind of the same similar lifestyle that they have. And obviously it's not practical for everyone to not work a full-time job or not work all the time.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to find a way, no matter how the way is. If you start your own little business, or if you save up a certain amount of like a big chunk of money and give yourself like a gap year to focus on this game, like you are getting paid for it, but you're not. Like a lot of people in this world keep forgetting that most of the famous people, like let's say Jeff Bezos and that, who's insanely rich right now. But when you saw how he's working on Amazon, no one was paying for him to work on Amazon. He was doing that shit in his garage, you know?
Yeah.
He was doing that shit on his ones, not getting paid for it. But he put in the amount of hours and time behind it. And now he doesn't have to care about anything, bro. He's going to space and that chilling. Like, so you just need to, if you want to really pursue something, and this is anything in life, especially if it's been done before, you look at who you're going to be competing against and who's been able to achieve it and how they achieved it. And then you just have to try and incorporate that into your life and your lifestyle, because not everyone lives the same life. And try to make it work and see if it's practical for you. And if it seems practical, give it your best shot, bro. That's what I would say. But a lot of people, I feel like, don't do the second part where they don't go and see. They don't go and see. Okay, how did this guy do it? Okay, the people who I'm playing against? How much do they play? How likely are they to know everything about the game? Very likely. Okay, cool. How long will it take me to learn everything about the game? Oh, I don't have that much time. Then you should give yourself a reality check and think, if I'm not gonna do that, then I don't really have a high chance of getting somewhere. And that's what people would really need to be on the same page with, especially in a team environment. If one person's holding you back because of reasons why they don't want to make sacrifices, you should just do yourself a favor and walk away from that situation because it's just the way life is.
That's just the way it is.
Literally, it's just you know how sticky it gets for real. Because yeah, it's when you start making big bucks from like esports, when you can make stupid amount of money, people start putting stupid amount of hours and grind for it because they understand how much money they could be making
Mm.
and they won't be playing games. And if you're playing against those people but you haven't got the same mindset, those people will always come out on top.
Yeah,
Always.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There's risk for every reward, really, and hard work always comes with reward. Next question from Nuxius, your former teammate. What do you like more, solo queuing or duo queuing? And who was your favorite duo?
I think
Who
you know
is
the
your
favorite
favorite
duo
duo?
was. It was
Yeah,
Obsessed, bro. Like, that guy of first duo I actually played with, who was actually like Radiant.
shout out
He
Upsets.
was, literally like, I didn't need to not babysit, but I didn't need to like care about his gameplay.
Yeah,
He could literally do what he wants. He could propose anything to me, and it would work, or it would have a good base behind it. And that comes from someone who's played the game as much as me, or played FPSs in general as much as me. So I really enjoyed having him as a duo because he did his role. He didn't tilt a lot. He always had a cool mindset. And then we would always set like duo plays, which is why I kind of tried to tell you guys, like, if you really want to climb in ranked, you guys can have your duo setup plays. Like, me and him would bait crossfire. We'll bait each other. Like, I would just stand in the corner, and then someone would kill me, and then he'll be in the deeper angle in the corner and get like a free K. And then look, we win the game because of that.
mm,
So stuff like that is really, really important. Like when you play with someone who warms up as much as you, um, and actually enjoys to play the game and doesn't always get tilted all the time.
yeah.
And I feel like, yeah, that was a very, very good duo. Unfortunately, obviously, Leon took him away from me again. Feels bad, man. But
God damn it, Leon.
yeah, it's just, yeah, and obviously I had another duo. I think Zoka as well. He plays for he's Rebels now. Rebel
Rebels
Zoka.
Zoka, shout out to you,
Yeah.
bro.
So Rebel Zoka, like, he was a fun duo as well, mainly because his community as well were always lit. Like, I think when first saw me when I was playing Breach,
On
and
Split, right?
Breach
I
on
remember.
no Breach on Bind.
Okay.
And he really started playing with me, and he added me, and we started playing together. And he's just a good duo, to be honest. Like,
I've only ever heard you tell me good things about Zoka.
yeah, he's a very good duo and a good person. Like, he never tilt, he'll never pressure you to play good. Yeah, he like, imagine, like, he'll never say, "Oh, just play what you want, man." Oh, and then like people, if I'm always feeling, he'll be like, "Yo, play duelist this time. It's fine. It's fine." Like stuff like that. Like some people just always make someone feel when they play with them. You know, like a
Yeah,
pocket sage or a pocket brim or a pocket whatever.
yeah.
Like that. To be honest, bro, like that is a violation,
That
bro.
ain't it, that ain't it.
That's a violation, that right there. But
Not
yeah,
looking
man,
good,
I just
bruv.
see, and that's when I prefer duos. But because I don't always get to play like people like Zoko or Obsessed and stuff like that. Like, and also Puggy. Puggy's a nice duo to play
Oh, I
with. Like
love Poogie, man.
Puggy, I like playing with Puggy because obviously Puggy's Puggy. He does his thing, but he's a clip I'm gonna upload onto Twitter soon. It's just me and him. Just I think it was on Bind. He just said, "You know what? Let's just run it down, bro." It was on
Mm.
like an anti-eco because we watched an APEC last chance qualifier, which is getting like it's going on right now, and they're so aggressive in eco rounds. I was like, cool. He bought a judge. I bought what do you call it? A spectre and said, let's rush short on Bind. So he just put 3 smokes down, and I put a boombot left side. We just ran it down, and we could kill all of them. He got 2 kills. He got 2 kills. I got 3, and it just ended the round straight away. And it was just fun.
Yeah.
That type of stuff, yeah, it's just fun to pull off.
There's
only
no
like
fun without Poogie. I can't lie.
yeah.
There's a bundle of joy. How about you, Rio? Do you like solo queuing or duo queuing more? And who's your favorite duo?
Oh, I like duoing. To be fair, so I mean, I don't mind soloing, but having someone else with you, just on with you with the ride as well, just having some craziness is always fun to have. So
Yeah.
with duos, um, I'm not gonna lie, I like doing with Abs. He's a funny, he's funny sometimes. Funny, he hits some nasty shots, and then he can always make me laugh as well with what he says. Ned, of course you, bro. Come on now. We was on that. What was it? Was that 12 win streak? We was on
Yeah.
that. Was 12 streak? Oh man, I'll never
And
forget that,
Immortal,
bro.
bro.
That was
It's
fun times,
unfortunate,
bro.
man. Not everyone can have me, you know what I'm
Hmm
saying?
But when I first played, I'll even say like Kai, Mello, shout out to them. They're not
Yeah, I
Nado.
used to play with them a lot on Valorant.
But yeah, it was those guys were like really. I love playing with guys, especially like Kai and Mello. They were just funny. They were always, and plus what's good. Back then I would play a lot more duelists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was fun. But nowadays I just play like Sentinels. I like to just chill and just, especially playing Killjoy and Ascent. Go on my phone. It's nice. Go on my phone. Play B-side lead. Just go on my phone. Just chill. But yeah.
Play Snake on the camera as Cypher, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Check your
But yeah,
DMs, all that stuff.
go on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's just me though. I like doing it.
For me, most of my games are all the same for me. Whether it's solo or duo, I get along most of the time. Even when I'm off stream as well, I usually always get along with my team. I always set the tone straight at the start of the round, at the start of the first game, where I introduce like a set play for everyone that they agree to it. They like it. I win the round. Sometimes I get a nice 3K whatever at the start of a game. So I start strong, and then it sets off the tone for the rest of the game, and they really like it. Even though we lose, even if we lose, it's okay. But my favorite duo as of right now has to be Heat Element. No cap. He makes me like he allows me my freedom and to play at my best all the time. Whenever I played with him, I always have the highest KD. I've always won the most rounds, the most impactful plays, etc. He's also funny as well. He's also really good on pretty much all the roles that he plays, and he always gives it a good insight. And I feel like I become a better player every time I play with him. Just like playing with A1mstar and Rio, really, and honestly.
You should try play with Dragon, bro.
Oh, for
Dragon
real?
War.
Does he play ranked like that?
Yeah. He has Radiant. I think he got Radiant before.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
he's
crazy.
actually fun to play with, bro. I swear.
I should message him sometime.
Yeah.
Next question is from the podcast question is, do you see Valorant being the biggest esports in the scene in the future? A1mstar.
Only if they start to fix up, yes.
Yeah.
There's a reason why League of Legends has been so relevant for as long as it has been. And I don't feel like Riot picked up from where League of Legends left off. I think they just started again, you know?
Okay. That's interesting.
Reasoning is because I mentioned uh, League of Legends has Clash. League of Legends has what do you call it? It has like
TFT.
good ranked leaderboards as well. Like it has already got the balanced out ranks, which obviously Valorant is just getting into by adding Ascendant. But I believe that, they could have just picked off. They could have said, "Cool, we know that Diamond's gonna need a rank between Immortal, so we should just do it straight away. We shouldn't just wait for it to come like that, then do it." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because for me, it's like you could have done it already, and you could be working on something else instead of just working on that. Like they could have been, unless they already made it before the issue came, where like the ranks were becoming like too many people were getting the higher rank, so we need to add a rank in between. Like unless they had that planned out, then I would give it a pass. But if they decided to develop it as soon as the problem came, when they had a game that already was out that had that problem already in the past,
Yeah.
For me, it's kind of like a waste of time. They could have been working on something else. They could have already implemented it or had it ready to be set out and worked on something else, so then the game could be much more further.
Mm.
I do believe they need to add separate queues for ranked. I mean, for 5 stacking and solo and duo. They do that in League. I don't know why they don't do it in Valorant. So for me, it's just like, yes, it's weird. You want to make a competitive game, you need to have competitive integrity. And if
Yeah.
someone can 5 stack to get like a rank higher than you, when you maybe not have 5 good friends or you might not have any friends to 5 stack with, then that's not fair. That could be easily resolved. You know,
Okay. That's interesting.
Imagine you're the quiet guy in class and you don't have 5 people to play with. Then
Yeah.
the popular guy who's always nosy and he gets all the attention, gets to play with 5 people, he'll get a higher rank automatically
Mm.
because he removes the randomness of his teammates. And I feel like solo duo queue is like part of it is getting along with random people and learning how to carry people, learning how to feel, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You get so much more game sense playing with people you're not used to playing with, learning how to fill holes from mistakes because you have to do that in a team environment. If you're playing on a team environment and your friend misses one smoke, right? You're gonna lose a round unless you adapt to that smoke not being there. And that's
Yeah.
how good play. That's the difference between a good player and a bad player. Bad players will just complain that there's no smoke and die. Good player will find a way how to adapt to that and still convert the round into a one round.
Yeah.
And the only way you can get in that situation more than once is if you play random people or people you don't like to play with smokes, and then you're going to be in that situation more than enough times. So then your brain will start to work out the best ways to win the round. And then I think that game sense is really good for you in the long run. It
Yeah.
helps you with clutch situations. It helps you with problem solving as well, and you can put that into other situations, not just the smoke situation.
I agree. So adaptability is very important as a player.
Mm.
It's all about adapting to every situation you can.
Yeah.
That's what makes a good player in Valorant.
And also the ping thing as well. I'll go on it again because
Mm.
I find it very weird as well. Competitive integrity. You have something that players can manipulate that to give them an advantage over other players to still compete in the same area, which is the leaderboard, like the ranking system. So I feel it's a bit off there as well. Like if someone can easily just have an advantage because of their ping is high, they can win more games, they can win more duels. And does that mean they're a better player though?
Nope.
So that's the whole thing. Like the whole point of having a ranking system is that if you play someone in that rank, they're better, right?
Mm.
Like if there's someone is Radiant and you're Diamond, the Radiant guy's supposed to be better just by that rank. But that's not always the case, unfortunately.
Yeah.
If you're just running around bopping heads at 60 ping, 5 stacking with silvers and golds, and you're winning, you're getting like 1,000 RR. It doesn't really make you a better player. I feel like I don't know if it happens already, but I feel like Radiants should only play versus Radiants. Immortals should only play versus Immortals. So I think it'll be a much more equal. It'll be much more like, let's say there was a league, right? Let's say the Premiership, bro, or a
Yeah.
football league. If you watch football, bro,
Mm.
Mm.
like they all play against each other to get a standing on the league, don't they?
Yeah.
Like Rio, correct me if I'm wrong. Don't they all play against each other?
Yeah, they all played against each other. Yeah, in that certain league. Yeah.
And then they get a certain ranking, don't they?
So
They get a ranking
there's
on the table, right?
there's yeah rank on the table. Yeah. So to get like there's a whole leaderboard and whoever's at the top wins that season for it.
Okay, but this one is okay. This one you could not play against people. You could literally be rank 1 and never play against anyone in top 100,
Mm.
Yeah.
and that's wild, bro.
I think that's because people who are peaking their ranks and playing very much more consistently at a lower rank play against people who haven't played in a while at a higher rank. So I think that's one of the reasons why it happens. So say you place Ascendant 1, or like you're in Ascendant 1 and you haven't played in a certain amount of time, in any situation amount of time, and there's a peaking Diamond player who's ranking up to Ascendant 1. They are placed against that similar elo to you, but they are a lower rank. Like those are one of the situations that are very explainable to me.
I'm not talking about that. The thing I'm talking about is if you're gonna grind to Radiant, right? And you're 5-stacking with like whoever you 5-stack with, look, who cares if you get a 75 penalty, whatever. If you're 5-stacking right with those guys, you're not gonna find another Radiant unless that Radiant guy is 5-stacking as well.
Yeah.
Okay? So the fact that you could go up the ranks all the way to like rank the first page, like top 10, top 20 people. You
With a
can get to
silver
that
ranking.
rank by 5-stacking and never seeing those people. It's crazy, bro.
I feel like that's not fair in any way, shape, or
Exactly.
form.
It can't be fair because it should usually be something that's where you get inflation, bro, of points. That's
Yeah,
because you get points generated but not taken away from anyone. So the points are just getting higher and higher and higher, and that's what's happening.
yeah.
Players are playing and gaining points, but not taking away points from players who are up there.
Mm,
So
I agree.
how it should be more like, okay, cool. If I move to place 25, I've taken elo from someone higher than me, and that's how I've moved up the ladder. Not because I've grinded more silver, more ascendants than you. You know, stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
just but that's the flaws that I have. That's just me just nitpicking, to be honest.
Do you feel like that's equivalent to cheating?
No,
No.
you're just taking advantage of a broken system. It's not really cheating. Like if they like that's things. It's been around since they brought back 5-stacks. So you can't really blame you're basically just playing the game how they're allowing you to play it.
But yeah, just bending the rules basically.
No, because they would have
So
changed it. All the game breaking bugs that happened, they've hot fixed it in a day. Except for when the leaderboards broke. I don't know what happened there, bro.
But
That
still,
annoyed
I
hella
don't.
people.
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
whole
yeah,
different
yeah.
thing, man.
That's a whole different thing, man. That was
I was getting them all
My
two triangles, even though I was in
triangles,
Mortal
my
3. Like,
Mortal 2
alright,
triangles will
fair
never
enough.
come back.
yeah, you never get all the things that you grinded, you'll never get the triangles, which annoyed me,
And
man.
during that time, yeah, it's annoying. But
And the
yeah,
fact
I
that
don't.
the fact that my peak for that season is wrong as well is annoying. It was wrong.
Yeah, RRP could even record the RR. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
crazy, man. That was a
Yeah,
L.
I don't feel like it's even ethically right to even 5-stack as a rating with irons and silvers, etc. Man, no one will respect that at all. And if you are a known player that does that shit, you are gonna get flamed, cancelled even if you want. But I don't care what happens to you if you do that. Personally, I don't know. As long as you're in similar elo or similar ranks, it makes sense. Go have your fun with your friends who are lower or higher ranks than you. But like, if the rank difference is like by 3 to 5 ranks, just don't flex about it. Please don't flex about it. That's what I have to say personally, because that's
Well,
not something
unfortunately,
you can
bro, it's
flex
the world we
about.
live in, man.
Yeah.
It's
The world
peak.
we live in, bro. People fake it till they make it, man.
I don't
And
know
that's
why
just how
they
it is.
even introduced like the whole thing where you can just queue with any rank. You should be like a couple ranks below you. That's it. That's because I swear that's how they used to have it when it was in 5-stacks. Like,
Yeah.
so I don't know why this whole because of Smurfs, because they were trying to combat Smurfs. That's why actually. But I don't know, man.
Yeah, man.
All I know
like
is sometimes I'll be in a mortal lobby, right, and these brothers would be like, "Oh, there's a guy that's smurfing the opposite team," and you have to tell these brothers like, "How are they smurfing in the mortal? You're in a mortal, you're
the amount of silver ranked tweets that I've seen on Twitter with 5-stacks, seeing immortals in their games, it is ridiculous, bro. It is ridiculous. All those innocent people, man, playing against a whole ass immortal player, an immortal 3 at that even. I don't know. It's not nice at all, bro. It's fucked up. It's hella fucked up. Anyway, next question. Let's go back to the topics at hand. A1mstar, how do you the question is, what got you into professional gaming, and how do you divide up your time between competing, training, and traveling and streaming?
Oh, streaming. I kind of kind of put that on pause a bit because of the stream snipe bullshit. Like I can't really stream games on my main, especially if I'm playing in high elo. You're just gonna get sniped, bro. Like
Yeah.
Like my voice is very unique. I would say I will get noticed a lot. I'm not your average, average player with like a blatant either European accent. So people are
Yeah,
gonna know I'm from London,
Mm.
and there's not a lot of people from London who are like in Radiant, I guess. So it's very easy to tell who I am, or mistake me for, let's say, one or two other individuals. But it's not that hard to if you know they're streaming. It's not that hard to just say, okay, let me just check if this guy's streaming. Oh, he's streaming, no delay. Cool, free win for me. I need RR. That's actually what people be thinking. So it kind of puts me off to stream my games a bit.
yeah,
I, so yeah, I kind of been grinding ranked off stream because I don't know, I have better games, and I think it's unfair on my teammates as well because I've been on a team where I think someone was streaming or they wasn't hiding their tag
yeah,
and they had no delay, so it was just unlucky for us. We just got wrecked that game, and I feel
yeah.
like I don't want to do that to my teammates because
I've done that before.
I don't like it. I don't feel good, so I wouldn't like it, so I don't do it to them. So that's something I've been avoiding. So yeah, I put the stream stuff on hold. For practice, you just gotta treat practice like your main job. You plan everything around your practice because if you don't practice, you're not gonna get results. So that's something that I focus on with tournaments. I think the people who organize the tournaments kind of do it in a way where it caters towards people's real lives. They usually do it on the weekends or do it on bank holidays. They rarely do it like if they do it on a weekday, they'll do it in the evening at like 5 or 6ish. So they really cater to like people doing stuff in the day. So the tournament stuff is already like kind of done automatically. Never
Yeah,
really had a clash with input in real life stuff. Um, but yeah, and I still don't think consider myself professional, nowhere near. I just consider myself at semi-pro at most, and just trying to break through to get to that tier. So yeah.
hopefully, hopefully. Um, what do you want to improve about esports in Valorant, such as like team management, sponsorships, community wise, or in certain tournaments like the VRC? So, what do you want more out of it?
I don't know, to be honest. They're done their part. I feel like I didn't know they were gonna close like the qualifiers for like VCT and VRL. I thought they always gonna have open qualifiers, but I noticed that they only do that stuff to like let people, let teams come in and showcase. But when they reach a certain amount of teams, they kind of close it off and they have the set amount of teams who are gonna compete, who qualify and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So I feel like they're doing their part. Like the fact that had no background in like esports from any other previous game, and I was able to have a VLR page and I'm playing VCT and playing VRL stuff like that. Not the qualifiers, not the actual main event. Allowed me to get where I am, where I could play for teams in VRCs because like VRC is just a step down from VRL. So I feel like they're doing their part. There still needs to be more tournaments for people like casual people, people who don't. I still think there's not enough tournaments out there for all the regions. The rollout for the tournaments was kind of messy, and I'm pretty sure like the UK Beacon tournament was pretty messy as well. Apparently, like they had Epic Land and they had like another qualifier on the next day, like in the morning. Like it's crazy.
oh, what
Yeah, it
the?
was kind of messy in that way or something like that. That's what I saw on like Twitter and stuff. So yeah, like they did their part, but obviously I think it's down to like the people who organize the tournaments that ultimately make it or break it for the players.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about the franchising thing. I haven't done my research on that, so I can't really speak on it. Um, but hopefully it works out. The thing I don't like that looking a bit weird recently is that a lot of orgs are pulling out because of the uncertainty of what's going to happen. So that's not really it's not really the best of things to hear. But obviously, no one knows for sure. People are just playing it safe. Just like when you
yeah.
invest in like
Mm.
stocks and stuff, there's traders who's going to play it safe and peace out as soon as something goes bad, and there's people who are going to stay in there for the long run. So I want to see how it goes.
In terms of franchising, yeah, that's correct. That's how everyone's going about it. In terms of pro teams, I see a lot of people who are in tier 2 orgs in NA have like uh their team's still playing competitively, but under a different name. Like Luminosity, BBG, etc. Playing NYFU, SR, all that stuff. Yeah, it's a pretty hard hit. But nothing's for sure. Nothing's certain. Next question I have for you is, what characteristics of the game make you want to play them professionally rather than casually?
Characteristics.
Yeah.
It's like the micro plays you can make with an agent, like the playmaking potential is much more better than you just with a rifle. Let's say Raze, when you get 2 kills, you get your nade again. You know,
Mm.
if somehow you're like 2 away from your ultimate as Sova, you get 2 kills, you back off, you pop your ult to deny the plant. Like playmaking stuff like that really like makes the game a bit more dynamic. Eco rounds are much easier to win than in CSGO. Like you can literally win 4 spy rounds and half spy rounds, much more easier to change the tide of a game. Retakes are much more fun to do because of the utility and timing you can get stuff done. So yeah, the game overall is just so much more in depth, and it's like for me, everyone says compares it to like Overwatch and Apex, but I never really indulge in those games. I compare it more to like League of Legends and CS:GO.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you played
100%.
League, you have ultimate abilities. You know, if you have ultimate abilities, you have a Q ability. You know, you have an E ability, stuff like that, and it all just makes me feel like I'm playing in first person League of Legends. To be honest, without the minions and stuff.
Another
That's
thing
why.
as
That's
well.
how I see this game. To be honest. Because when you got characters like Breach and Sage with like the wall, just like in Nivea, you've got Breach who has like a stun. It reminds me of characters with a stun, like a support player, and he has an ult that knocks people up. Really, really, I wish they add more team fight ults like Breach and Fade and stuff like that.
So it's more, yeah, it changes the momentum of the game, which is very interesting to see how it uh different characteristics of every aspect of an agent can really
I would
change
say,
the predictability.
sorry, like the maps need to change. Like whoever's developing the maps needs to listen to the community a bit more. The maps are a bit, you have all these agents, and I don't believe like the maps are designed around every agent. They're designed either without any agents in thought or only a couple. Because as I said, I believe that every role and every agent should be viable on every map, and that's just not the case.
Mm.
If you look at Icebox, Viper's king on Icebox by far, you
Mm.
know? Fair enough, you might see a Brimstone somewhere or like an Omen somewhere, but that's probably only in ranked. If you like, Viper's going to be the king on Breeze as well, because if you look at A site, let's say only Brimstone can smoke 3 parts of A or 2 parts of A for you to get on site. You know, Omen can't, Astra can't, Viper can. So it's like the maps need to be designed where all smokers are viable. You know,
Yeah,
therefore, at least if you're forced to play controller, you don't have to play Viper, or you don't have to play. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You don't have to play Viper, or you're trolling, or you're gonna probably lose the game. Like that's another way they could fix the problem with controllers. Not every controller is viable on every map, and it shouldn't be like that.
yeah. I agree. That's why there's tier lists for every map as well for the specific agents going on in the community.
Yeah, literally. And it's like, why design a character that's only viable on certain maps? You
Actually
should design
interesting.
all the characters should be viable on every map, so then people can be a one trick and learn everything about that map. More versatility into the gameplay and game style instead of it just being the same type of gameplay.
Very interesting take on that. I really like it. Um,
I was
what?
also just gonna
Yeah.
add. I was just gonna add in like in terms of like character wise, like even if you're not even doing anything, like looking I was talking about like the potential of abilities getting used and then I'll bring into maps as well. So in terms of like you could be holding a site on B on Breeze, right? But you notice that at the top left, maybe Viper does have an ult, and then the ability, then Viper suddenly has an ult. The usage of fighting for ult orbs is so much important, and is actually really not really looked actually at. not really people underestimate the power of what an alt orb can do, because that could also just change around. Someone can just literally keep on farming alt orbs, has res again, or has ult again for a breeze. That's that could be game changing. Like you could be up next to Viper or pots ult, then it just turns into a very hard retake.
Yeah.
Depending on if all the abilities of the defending teams were being used, it's just much more harder for them to try and track. In terms of maps, Rise, it's funny that you mentioned like maps being designed for like certain like characters without abilities, because in terms of Cash, like you played Cash, right, on CS, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that person that designed that map, it was the same person that designed Breeze. So I it's crazy how he's normally known for like making CSGO maps. So he designed Haven, he designed Breeze, and he designed Icebox. And like mentioning like how he was like come from a CS background, you normally would design maps with abilities, and then you have to factor in abilities afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's actually interesting that you mentioned that, because how he can make Cash was one of my favorite maps in CS, and
Yeah, it was mine as well.
and he can make a map such as like Breeze, where it's just like so open, and it was the first iteration. Then I think someone else modified it for him. Like they were talking and they modified it, but he made the first iteration of Breeze, and before he got that nice rework. And the first iteration of Breeze, I could tell you that for a fact, I didn't really like as much. I don't mind it now, but it's one of those maps where if you don't have certain characters like like a Viper, you're definitely off road or something like
Yeah.
that.
And
Or
that's
if
what I
you're
don't
playing
like as
Raze,
well.
on Breeze, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's what I don't like as well, because like you could literally you can't pick a map, number one, and then you're forced to play a map that only certain characters are good at. So what if your teammate doesn't have the character?
Mm.
Because you have to unlock Viper, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
So unless every player focuses to unlock Viper, right? Because you can't unlock any maps. You get to play any map from the start. So unless
Mm.
every player unlocks Viper, you're gonna run into those situations where you're just gonna lose because you don't have Viper and Breeze.
Yeah, especially if you're a new player and you just
Yeah,
unlock rank, you wouldn't even know what agents to like really unlock. And then let's say for example, you play Breeze and you don't have a Viper because you're just a fresh new character that's just started playing ranked. You're pretty much forced to just, I don't know, stick with characters that you don't really know. And then say when there's everyone else insta locked, then you're in a situation where you just have to play Brimstone, and that's not going to be really beneficial on Breeze if they have a Viper on the opposite team.
yeah. But I honestly think people should just dodge more. Like, if you think about dodging, I don't know the actual maths of the numbers, but you can literally take, I think, 3 times. You can dodge 3 times in a row before you've lost one. You've lost the RR. You've lost 20 RR. I think
Mm.
if you dodge 3 or 4 times in a row. But I think that's worth than losing 40 minutes to 30 to 40 minutes of your life and 20 RR. I think it'll benefit your mindset and your grind much better if you just dodge matches that don't have, like, let's say you're playing Breeze with no smokes or no Viper, just dodge it, bro. If you get Breeze again and you're very unlikely for you to, if you dodge something and you have the 5 minute cooldown, the 3 minute cooldown, you're very unlikely to get put in a lobby with the people who don't want to play smokes. And I feel like if more people start dodging, there will be less games where they get tilted. You know,
Mm.
there'll be a better quality of games because a lot of people just, I don't know what gets into people where they just lock in 5 duelists and say, yeah, let's play, and then they start flaming each other when they start losing. Like, for me, that's so ridiculous. Like, if you choose to troll in the agent select and then you're flaming your team when you're losing the game, like, you honestly must have thought that you're gonna win without the right agents, which is confusing. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And it's very, very common. So my advice is to just dodge those people and stay away from them, bro. And you will have much more better games.
Yeah, I
No
agree with
ranked
that.
advice. Ranked
Trust me, you
advice.
have it takes you 4 dodges, 3 to 4 dodges to lose the amount of elo it takes to lose a game. But you spend less than half of the time, and yeah, you're less likely for it to be in a row. People should just look into that.
So my next question is, how often do you stay motivated to keep playing? And do you
Sorry?
ever how do you stay motivated to keep playing? And do you ever get bored of your game?
How I stay motivated.
Yeah.
Well, if I have a goal I haven't reached, I've kind of come to terms with how long it will take or how long it might take. Come to terms that it's easy. I don't have any expectations thinking that I should be here by this time. I don't think of it that way because that's a one-way ticket to demotivation, bro.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm just giving it my best shot so that if it doesn't work out, then I can at least say gave it my best shot, bro.
Mm.
And that's what keeps me motivated because the more I put in, the less regrets I would have, and the more like satisfaction I would have if I actually do accomplish something.
Mm.
I'll be like, yeah, I put in all this work and now it's accomplished. So that's kind of like a motivation. The end result is like more work I put in, the more results I will get. And I'm currently seeing that now, and I'm currently going to continue doing that. It's very hard to get motivated without results.
Yeah, especially
That's
without a
why
goal.
people who go on the gym journey, like to get healthy body and stuff,
Yeah.
they take pictures of their body, like they take pictures so they can compare it week by week so they can see the little progress, and it keeps them motivated.
Yeah.
So it's always good to test yourself. Always ask for feedback from your peers. Don't care about rank stats at all. Like ranked is not something that, if you're trying to go far in this game, it's not something that holds any importance. I think Element said a very good thing. He said you'll get what rank 1, and then people forget about you.
Yeah.
You'll get
Yeah.
rank 1, you make one Twitter post, get a couple likes, and that's it.
No one's gonna
They don't
remember the last week's rank 1 player or
they
like
don't they
last
don't
year's
mean
rank
it
1
don't mean
player.
nothing if you're rank 1,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because there's already another level. It's not like you're the best player in the world. No, you just grinded the most.
Only if you made it a YouTube title for a content video. That's for sure. But
Yeah, if you're very good with editing and content and you have a lot of like Twitter engagement and fans, you can turn it into something. But
yeah.
most of the people that have become rank 1 are not famous because they're rank 1, because they're already famous.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
anyone who's literally he was a rank 1 player, so he became famous. I know that in League of Legends, if you're challenger, like you can easily start up a stream and you can literally go far in places, but it's not the same in Valorant, bro.
I know it is. I know what you
Someone
mean.
can come from CSGO background, like a 3K elo 4K elo face it player will come on Valorant and just decimate every Radiant. And he can grind up to rank 1. It doesn't mean he's rank 1, like he's the best player. It just means that he's
Just
just
dominating.
from a different FPS.
Yeah. 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 100%. For me, I stay motivated by support. Really, looking at my own VODs and clips, it makes me engaged and entertained to do more. I want to do that again. Like every time I start my routine in warming up and playing, I look at my own clips. Pretty much that really, and all the love and support I get is pretty insane. And I'd imagine you would as well, Aim and Rio.
What? Sorry, do what?
The support that you get, all the feedback and support that you get from your friends, fans, and teammates, that keeps you motivated as well, right?
Not really. I
Okay.
don't really rely on support of others. Like it's very nice and I appreciate it. I appreciate it fully to everyone who supports. But I don't do it for like the supporters, because everyone knows that people come and go. And when you put too much faith on support, when you care too much about people supporting you and you link that towards your performance, if your supporters go or you have something you have something not going your way, like let's say you become Radiant and people only support you because you're Radiant and you start to like that support, and then you lose your Radiant, and then there's people stop supporting you because you're not a high skill anymore.
Yeah.
You're not the person that they support. Then your motivation goes down because of that mindset that you gave yourself.
Yeah.
So for me, the support is very nice, and obviously I appreciate all the support I will get, but that's not my source of motivation.
All right. That's
My
right.
source of motivation is more like becoming, like, if I do make it in this space, people use me as like, okay, this guy can do it, I can do it. So I think that motivates me more than any support can.
That's a very Giga Chad take on it. Honestly, it's a very strong take. I like that. Very respectful.
Yeah, respect it. It's like you're making a painting. People people will help you with your pain, but some people will leave. Some people will continue painting with you. Some people will go away. So yeah, I
Yeah,
respect
and you see it in a lot of movies, a lot of Disney films show this as like a moral. Like there'll be a time in your life where you're the number one guy, you've got all these people around you, blah blah blah. But then when that stuff is done, you're on your ones, bro, and you're confused. And the best way to not get into that situation is you can still be as good as you want to be, but you just don't embrace all the clout. You don't need to embrace all the clout to have the same effect. You can still show appreciation in your accent, in your actions. You don't let people down by playing bad when you play. Like when people spend their money to sub to you, you put out your time to give them a mention. You try to give them a good content and stuff. But it's not like you're not a slave. You're not a slave to that. You know, just because someone's like gifted you 300 subs doesn't mean you have to like drop 300 kills every day. You know, but some people feel that pressure and it eventually that pressure can make you break.
Yeah.
So that's something I would not like to get myself into in any way. Like I'll just like to always put my user support as like saying cool, like I'm at least making someone's day. I'm making someone enjoy watching me enough for them to say, "Oh, that was really cool," or "You made me see something cool." For me, that's more satisfying than anything.
Okay.
Like if I make someone do the PogChamp face in real life, like for me, I'm just like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I made you make a facial expression, or I made you go make a weird ass sussy backer sound like, oh, like when you hit a crazy shot. For me, that's more that's for me, that's more like, yeah, like that will motivate me, bro. If I'm making you make sound effects and stuff in front of your computer screen, I must be doing something right?
Like fans on stage if you're playing on a LAN.
Yeah. But I'm not really talking about that though. I'm talking about more like you're just playing a duo queue rank to me or a 5-stack or a custom and I hit a jump shot and you're just like, oh, like stuff like that. That
Yeah.
motivates me more than people saying like, oh, you got this, bro, or stuff like that. For me, like, yeah, words of
Yeah.
motivation are good, but it's the actions and the practice that pays off. That really gives you results.
I really
And I feel
respect
like a
that,
lot of
yeah.
people rely on the words more than the practice and the work.
It's a very interesting take. I like that. I haven't heard anyone say that before, honestly. I think those are for the people who really care more about results than what the fans prioritize more than you. You want fans who will stay with you all the way and will support you with actions being louder than their words. So yeah, that's really respectable. I really respect that.
No. So basically, the way I work is, yeah, this is kind of weird. If someone tells me I'm the best, I'm the best, no one's better than me, blah blah blah, my mind will start thinking that if I hear it too many times.
Yeah.
And then if you think you're the best, right? Have you seen Avatar? Have you seen the movie Avatar? When the guy lost his bird and he went for the big bird, and his tactic was to go above the big bird because he's the biggest guy in the skies. Why does he need to look up?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the mentality that I'm trying to avoid. If people always call me the best, right? Then I'm gonna not look for someone better, not look for someone to improve against, not look for someone to, okay, cool, this guy is a problem. Like when I stop looking at people as a problem, then I stop to improve. Therefore, I'm literally letting my fans down by not keeping up, like not practicing, not giving it my all. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like I'm not doing it because you say I'm good. I'm doing it because I want to show you that I am good.
Yeah. Okay. That's very interesting. I like that. I like that a lot. That's a very forever
Like there's a
improving
lot of people,
mindset
and
you
I'm
can
not
always
gonna say
have.
no names, but there's one big name that everyone thought was the last hope, and he just fell off, bro. And I honestly think that's a
This
big
is the
example
word of
of
mouth
how good.
podcast, and
Yeah,
that has gone around forever in around the whole Valorant
yeah.
community.
But if you think about it, if you know who I'm talking about,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah, yeah. We all know. We all know.
Yeah.
don't you think the clout would have got to your head, fam?
Yeah, 100%. And it's happened. It's
And that's
happened.
something that I'll never let get to me because that is, to me, I
That's
prefer
peak.
that never to happen, bro. That is
Yeah,
peak.
yeah.
I
What
don't
you've
care
been
who
talking about
you
is an example of what you don't want.
exactly. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
reason. And then there's other reasons as well, like Mr. Tenzi is a very, very good aimer. He's one of the very, very cracked aimers and stuff. But bro, like the amount of hype that he had, the amount of pressure he had, it's like Kanye when he was releasing his Donda album, fam.
Mm.
People had so much high expectations that when it flopped, it just flopped, bro. Like,
It, it's like a thing with Tens. Like everyone expects him to drop 30, like every game. Like
yeah,
if he doesn't drop 30, what's going on? He's throwing or like
and
or there was this one match on Breeze, right, where he really popped off, and then I can't remember what was next. I think it was either Icebox. I think it was Icebox, but he just underperformed, and then was like, "What the hell? He's so washed." Blah 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 blah. It's just like you
yeah,
can't
they'll
really.
turn on you. This is why
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've been in the Twitch chat and I've seen it. And if you're out here trying to get into this space, right, and you're listening, you're believing all the good stuff that comes out of the chat. You're believing it. You're letting it empower you. You're letting it infuse you. You better be ready for all the negative stuff because your
Mm,
brain's just gonna soak that in as well, and it's gonna affect you the same way. So that's why you should avoid like letting it affect you and then, like
mm,
letting people affect your confidence and emotions. You should have the same constant confident and emotions regardless of anything else,
mm.
Yeah.
and that's how you become a very consistent good player.
Like
Because
another
now, because I'm not saying he does, but imagine me personally, if everyone was saying, "Yeah, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm dropping 30, yeah, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good," and the day I drop, I flop, and then everyone's saying I'm washed and stuff, that's gonna mentally affect you, bro.
mm,
No matter how old you are and how long you play, and that's something that you can easily avoid by just not take everything with a grain of salt, bro.
mm,
With a pinch of salt, whatever. Just take everything and be ready for criticism by the same people who shows you love,
mm. It's like
and
another
then
example
then
you
you'll
could
be
say.
much more in a better space.
Mm. Like another example you could say, like look at Myth when the height of Fortnite, right, in its
Yeah, yeah,
peak.
yeah.
Like everyone was saying, "Oh my gosh, this guy is the builder pro." Everything like he's one of the best builders, one of the best players in the world, right? The second he competed, right, it just turned, and then after that he went to boot camp, and then he tried it again. Soon everyone was like, "Okay, look at him, he's up and up." Everyone was motivating him, blah 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 blah. And second event, same thing, same results, and it just like this whole stigma of him playing Fortnite got to him as well. It got to him because he's like, why am I playing so bad? Like, what's going on here? Everyone told me I was the best. Why am I not on that same expectations of everyone that believed in me? And then, like, due to that point there, he just stopped and then became a content creator after competing in those events.
Yeah,
So,
literally.
mm,
And it comes to the fact is you can get off days. You're playing against people who play as much as you. So
mm,
sometimes they're gonna hit that shot against you. Or, you know what I'm saying, or you're not playing in a good enough tournament. Do you know what I mean? You're not always gonna have to hit that you're not always gonna get that headshot, bro. You're not always there's so many factors that can change.
Yeah.
Positioning. Someone could be behind you every time of the game. Doesn't mean you're shit. It means you haven't got eyes at the back of your head. It's unlucky, bro.
mm,
But
Yeah.
because of the viewers and the fans, they don't see it like that. They'll just say, "Oh, you're bad because you died. You should have known he was behind you, flanking you for 20 minutes. You should have known that." You know, like it does. There's no logic behind the majority of people who are like watch esports.
mm,
They mainly watch it for the hype. They want like in school when people only care if there's a school fight where there's action and stuff.
mm,
There's only a select few people who would chill with you, that your main friends, your main supporters. But then the majority of people would only come when there's drama and there's hype and stuff like that. And if you can separate yourself from knowing who's who,
Mm.
like you're calm. You're calm, bro. That stuff won't affect you. Like I think a very good example is Dopa from League of Legends, bro. He
mm.
couldn't care less what anyone says because he's so good at the game. Bro, they treat him like a celebrity in they treat him like a celebrity. I watched the YouTube videos. He's all having a talk show for League of Legends and that.
Mm.
And I guarantee he has people who hate him, like people who hate him a lot and people who like him, but he's so good at the game and he's so confident that he's good at the game that no one has a relevant opinion. No one's on that level where he could like let's say me and you are pros, right?
Yeah.
And then someone who's not a pro calls me shit, but then you call me good. I don't care what you say because you're a pro.
Mm.
And obviously I think that's a good mindset for people to have as well. Especially in ranked. When a random guy in ranked calls you trash because you're playing chamber and you're lurking, when I don't know, it's a sentinel, you're supposed to lurk, in my eyes. Uh like if you let that random jet call you trash and then you see his name and he's like KFC Kentucky or something like that, some random guy, you shouldn't let that affect you. because he's not qualified to call you trash, regardless of what you're saying. A lot
Yeah.
of people are not qualified to call you garbage. I don't think anyone is.
No.
And what's it called? If they continue as well, though, I always suggest not to flame back. It's best
don't
just
flame
to
back.
mute and just
Yeah.
play your game.
Yeah, I learned that from I don't know what season it was. I remember I was streaming. I was banned every week, bro. I'm like, this life is shit. I was like, I need to stop getting banned. So I started to invest in the mute team, mute all ban. Like, I honestly don't care. As many people as they say, oh, this guy has no VC, or I'm losing because this guy has no VC. If you mute VC because someone's being annoying, they're trying to trigger you. You're not a pussy. You're not a bitch. You just want to play the game, innit? Without any noise. And I think that's respectable, bro. If you want to play the game without any people crying and saying crazy stuff, like obviously I've heard a lot of crazy racist shit when I play this game, bro. I've heard crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, why do I have to hear this shit? I can just mute them and then that's it. Or turn his volume down to like 1 so he sounds like he's like a chipmunk in that movie. Like, have you ever heard someone rage when 1% volume? It's so funny, bro. That's what I do sometimes. If someone's screaming on the microphone, I put him on 1% and he just sounds like a chipmunk. And I just laugh. It just entertains me. And I feel like a lot of people need to start doing that as well. Stop engaging yourself in arguments like you're beefing in real life.
Yeah.
The way I stopped that, or the way I've stopped doing it how I used to, because I used to be hella toxic. I used to call people out and stuff like, yo, where you at right now? And stuff like that. But I stopped that type of talk because I just thought of myself as, imagine if someone was watching me scream at my PC screen as I'm screaming at right now.
Yeah.
I'll look like an absolute clown, you know?
Yeah.
And that image in my head is what I replay, especially when I start to get heated. I replay that image in my head, and I don't like looking like a clown. So I kind of that stops me from indulging in that type of stuff. I may argue, but if it goes on for too long, like if it goes on past the freeze time, I just mute him. And if the whole team is annoying me, voice chat off. I just play my game. I'll communicate. I'll type in chat. I'll use pingwidge. So the ping language, careful
Yeah.
here, watching here, going this way, going B, going A, stuff like that. I'll use that. I won't not come, but yeah, it's better. The one thing people need to understand is no matter how much someone did you wrong in the game, yeah, if you indulge in the same activity, you're both gonna get banned, bro.
Yeah.
Riot does not pick sides. They do not care. All they care about is the summoner code everyone accepted at the start of the game. And if you go against that summoner code and get punished for it, they're within their rights to punish you, and there's nothing you can do about it. If you go to them and say, okay, cool, I showed you the clip of this guy calling me the N-word, blah, blah, blah. I showed you this clip of this guy saying that all girls should be in the kitchen, stuff like that. I showed you the clip of blah, blah, blah. But I called him a cunt and told him, hope his family gets this, Y, and Z. You're getting banned as well, bro.
Ah,
You know what I mean? There's
yeah,
nothing that
you gotta be an idiot to pull up with that shit, man.
pop up is very, very common, and we both
It
know
is.
people who've done it. So unless you want to call them an idiot or you just want to call them, you know what I'm saying? You need to be
Yeah,
careful with the words.
I've always told people like arguing in voice chat does not solve anything, bro. If anything, it makes it worse. Just arguing back. Just arguing back just hurts. It just hurts even more. It hurts even more.
Yeah, I like what's it called?
I won't say arguing. I would say insulting. Okay, listen. In the game, a competitive game like this, it's okay to have two conflicting opinions. Like, you can't just say that. Okay, cool. One guy did a misplay and you don't want to speak about it. It's obvious. You can speak about the misplay so it doesn't happen again. If someone doesn't take it the right way, cool. It's your job to see that they don't like to take it, and then just keep quiet and leave it. But if you continue arguing and insults start flying and you start insulting each other, it's time to mute or you're both gonna get in trouble.
Yeah. It's the response that's important for yourself. It's how you respond to certain situations.
People say some wild stuff, man. I understand why.
Genuinely, and that's what I wanted to talk about. But I obviously forgot. And there's another heartfelt topic that I want to go into. Mainly because we're from a similar background. Not every day do you see another a black pro prominently in this scene and competitive scene. What's your take on it, and what are the reasons you think that there aren't as many as you normally see compared to Caucasian people and so on and so forth?
So once again, I would say I don't consider myself a pro. I would say I'm semi-pro at the most. Yeah.
I'm gonna call you a pro, bro, because you're
No, please don't. And also, um, yeah. So to answer the question is that's part of the reason why I started to try to take this game a bit more serious, mainly because like yeah, the amount of people, bro. I remember there was one time when I would stream and I had my picture on stream.
yeah.
This is so funny, bro. And I was dueling with someone and I must have carried blah blah blah, playing nice game. And he says, bro, he's like, do you have a Twitch or something? I'm like, yeah, I have a Twitch, blah blah blah. I sent my Twitch now. And then the guy saw my picture on Twitch and he came back, he's like, are you a N-word? Bro.
When I was coming up with these questions, when I was writing down these questions, I already knew about the outcome and what sort of answers you'd get because obviously we're friends and that. But like, I kind of like prepared myself mentally for the responses that will come because there's a lot of racism. There's a lot of racism,
Bro,
and I still get that irking feeling, bro. It's painful.
the amount of
Yeah.
time,
Sorry, carry on.
Finish one sec. So cool. This guy must have asked me, "Am I N-word?" I'm like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Are you? What are you saying, bro?" I was like, "Are you racist, bro?" And he's like, "No, no, 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 no. Like, obviously, you're an N-word." I'm like, "What?" I was like, for me, I'm thinking, okay, is this guy trolling me or being uneducated? Because understand there's a few people that have never seen a black person before. They just hear black music and they think that's the way, some people listen to Nadurii, there's really people who will say N-word and not want to be not racist.
Yeah,
They just
yeah.
don't
We both know people like that.
they just don't know, bro. They've just never seen, like, especially online, as you mentioned, there's not that many black people who play games that like grind it at a high level. There's compared to the other races, there's way little. So like yeah, I was kind of shocked in it, and then I understood. Like he said, "Oh no, sorry, I was joking. I was joking." I understood. Like these guys don't really understand like how that could make someone feel. Me personally, I didn't really feel some type of way because I came from CSGO, and that place is way more toxic than Valorant will ever be in my eyes.
Yeah,
Mainly because it's not regulated. You won't get banned for saying what you want to say on there. So I kind of was ready for the toxicity, but my way of dealing with toxicity is to be toxic back. Like I used to engage in those arguments and try to win, you know?
yeah,
If someone puts N bombs, like I would literally just go crazy. I'll throw the game. I'll actually at them so hard, like, I'll spoil the game for them just because I'm like, cool, you've said this bad word. I'm gonna be the judge and jury, and then I'll try to spoil the game. And
yeah,
then that's what led me to get banned a lot of the time with the voice chat and stuff. And a lot of people, which is kind of sad. I won't say no names, but a lot of people will look at you being toxic, but they won't look at you the reasoning behind it. Especially when it's a reason if someone's being racist and stuff. They will just judge you for being a toxic player and stuff, and that can ruin a lot of opportunities for you as well.
genuinely.
So yeah, so then when I learnt that, I started to just mute people and report and send tickets to Riot. One thing I know is if you send a ticket, bro, and you've got a clip of someone 4K, someone spamming N bombs, and you reported them, they're gone, bro. In the next 2 business days, their account is gone for like a week. So for me, that's a win.
Bro, I remember being just like you as I was streaming back a day. This is like over a year ago. In an unrated game, I was playing off streamer mode, so my name will be showing just as Nadurii, and the team was toxic, just as you do. But I'm minding my own business, playing with music on, etc. Is vibing. Out of nowhere, they'll be like, "Yo, this your Insta," and then they'll just be calling out the maddest racial terms, bro. Racial slurs, everything. I'd be confident in showing someone my Instagram, but like, if you're just gonna call me the N word, call you like a handsome monkey, etc. It's genuinely shocking how people can just how it could be the first thing they think of. when they see a black person.
You didn't play CSGO, bro.
I didn't play CS. I haven't played
Yeah.
CS.
Yes,
Sorry
is
to
mad.
say, man.
It's unfiltered.
It's expected.
Yeah.
People will say whatever they want to say online. They'll say the most craziest stuff. And I would say just being racist is the least amount of thing. Like, that's like level 1 racism, bro. Level 1 toxicity. When people start using the cancer word, when people
Yeah.
start using the any other like illness and start directing at your family and all of that stuff, you would understand that people just say anything, and you have to not take what anyone says serious online. You can never take it serious, bro.
Yeah.
And that's something that I learned. Like, if someone says something crazy, if they cross the line and they say something a bit too crazy, I won't even involve myself in that conversation. I'll just mute them and go next. Because some people actually find joy and love, like joy and enjoyment with that type of wording. And I feel like that type of stuff you should not involve in that, because you're
No.
basically involving yourself in what they want. And you don't want to do, if someone's that type of person, you want to not do what they want.
Yeah.
If they're being racist for you to get you mad, just be happy.
Yeah.
Or like me, I just mock them, bro. I'll be like, yeah, your account's gone. See you. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, good luck with your account, bro. I got the clip. And then the amount of times I've said that, and then some guy comes to my Twitter or my Twitch saying, sorry, bro, I didn't mean to say that. Bro, that's so funny, bro. I don't care. Bro, the amount of people that have come to apologize to me saying they shouldn't have said that word. I don't care. I've sent the ticket already, big man. I sent it when you said it.
You've already committed the crime, bro. You
Bro,
can't say sorry to the judge.
so
Give me
funny,
back
bro.
my life sentence or something like that. It won't
It's
lower
just
life
so funny.
sentence.
It just proved my point. These guys didn't mean what they say. They're just
You
saying it
already
to
did
piss
the
me off.
damage. Like you can't unbreak something. If you punch
But then,
someone in the face, they get the
but then
bruise.
what really changed my view on it is the fact that not everyone was like me. Not everyone's hard headed like me. Like who can like be called the M bombs multiple times, been told to your family to get so and so, and just just either give verbal back or just keep quiet and mute them and move on.
Yeah, yeah,
Some people it will really affect them. I know people who don't even play the game anymore because of how bullshit it is. And to me, I'm thinking, how many more people are like that? I remember I watched this podcast on melanin gamers that were talking about like melanin people in esports and stuff where there's not so many.
yeah,
And the big topic was people being called names and not being able to handle it and not take it serious or get angry and take it over the top, and they can't focus on their game
yeah.
because they're tilted because their teammates are calling them M bombs or making monkey noises, stuff like that. So that's something that I really said cool. So I'm gonna play my part by reporting all of them and not engaging in anything. Just report all of them and go next. And then hopefully, if everyone plays their part by just reporting that type of toxic behavior, eventually people get fed up of getting banned and they'll keep it to themselves, just like in real life. And I feel like that's the best way to go for it.
That
Because
links, yeah,
all honestly, Riot can't fix that type of stuff. It's not really in their control. Like the technology is not there where you can literally insta ban someone for saying the N word like mid game. Like there's no prevention. Like you can't control humans' lips, bro. People are gonna say what they're gonna say. But what they're doing a good job of is that when you report someone and send a ticket or post it on Twitter, that person's most likely gone, bro, for a very long time.
Mm.
So yeah.
That links back to what Popo just said. Though, welcome Popo to this podcast and the stream. How you doing, man? He said that's the internet for you. That's the internet for you, though. They're brave because they know they won't be found 99% of the time, and yeah, a lot of brave closet racists in the internet saying exactly what they want without a filter on their tongue.
Yeah, literally. And that's why you just gotta take it as it is, bro.
Yeah,
Like, bro,
yeah, facts.
if we like I'll be honest, my mentality is if I ever found out like an opportunity was taken from me because I was black, then I would feel some type of way about it.
Yeah,
Right? But if someone just calling me N-word in ranked, I don't let it get to me, bro. I can't. Like, I'll just laugh at you, bro.
yeah,
I'll just laugh at you. It's like, did you go cheat on you with a black guy? That's why you're mad. I'll say stuff like that, even though that's kind of inappropriate. But that's just me just giving back soft jabs, because I'm not being racist back. I'm just basically, playing into his own stereotypes in it.
yeah.
and using it against him?
For me personally, obviously it wouldn't affect me as that much as well. Even though I'd hate to have it said to me, I'd still act upon it, but I wouldn't act on it like on as a knee-jerk reaction of calling him back out or anything, this and that. I'll just know that whoever I'll contact next time will have an effect on if this guy does play in the team or anything like that, does have a career or something like that. It will be tarnished, bro. It will be tarnished. Honestly, if I clip it, I report them, I clip it, and I ship it. But even though I don't like doing it, it's happened. And if I see this guy again in my games, in my community, or in a friend of my community, or in a or in some of my friends' community, they're gonna have to know, because this guy is gonna be a danger to them, everyone around them. And yeah, I just really want to keep it safe for everyone to play that does know me. I
Be
try to.
honest, I think, and I don't know how everyone's gonna take this, but I honestly think the sexism's worse than the racism in game.
Yeah, honestly, I don't get.
Like
There's
so
this
far,
way more. The sexism is way more prominent.
which makes no. Listen, I'm gonna say this for the record for everyone in this chat, bro. Listen, bro. Okay, in modern day sports, football, right, boxing, like stuff like that, it's very it's scientifically proven that, what I'm saying, guys have an advantage in those type of sports. Okay, can someone tell me what is the
Oh,
advantage
we're
from a
talking about
male or female
racism,
in a
Echo.
computer game, which we both have hands, right? You don't need to go gym to get a bicep so you can flick faster. We have the same brain, the same eyes. So what difference does it make if you're a boy or girl or whatever you identify as? What difference will it make on a video game? Because there's no difference.
There's
There's
no
no
difference
physical
No
whatsoever.
difference.
advantage. There's no biological advantage. You're literally in equal playing grounds.
And that is crazy. I
So
think
for me, I just think of those people who call sexist people. They're either incels or they get no girls. They've had a bad experience and they think all girls are like that.
And we feel
Because there's
sorry
no
for them?
way,
No.
there's no way you come from a woman, but every woman you see, you're telling to go back to the kitchen.
It doesn't make sense at
It
all.
makes me think you're uneducated and you're stupid, bro. That's why I look at you. Every time I hear these little talks saying, "Oh, she's a girl, man, we must be better." In my head, I'm thinking, "You're a dumbass, bro." Like, in my head, I'm just thinking, this guy is so stupid. That's what I'm actually thinking.
Just because of the old pretense, the old rule back in the day where it used to be the thing of only boys used to play games or whatever, it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference at all. We're all born with the same strengths and weaknesses, especially for gaming, where it's meant for every gender, every personality, every soul, every competitive player, whether you have different skill sets or different what's it called, abilities, or a different I'm just waffling at this point. Whatever it is that you're into, where it comes to esports, a girl can do it. A girl can do it even better than you, genuinely, because there's the amount of toxic incels who are sexist to the opposite gender. There are 100% more female players who are better than you, and who are more qualified to say that sexism isn't supposed to be in esports.
No, but my whole point is that is like, okay, cool. Let me just explain this again. There's a reason why the Olympics is split up. Men Olympics and women Olympics, right?
Mm.
But I don't see, and there's a valid reason behind it. But what's the valid reason about esports? I don't know the science behind it.
Yeah, there
There's
aren't.
science behind everything. There's a science behind everything,
Yeah,
But maybe because I don't know, like the team dynamic will be a bit off if there's I don't know if that's been proven in any way. But I know for a fact that there's no physical or like tangible advantage that a male has over a female in this space, other than they played games longer.
mm.
So yeah. I just find it weird that people are actually fully sexist on here.
I hate it as well. Personally, I hate it so much, so much. Oh, and personally, it I don't know the reason either as to why there isn't mixed teams and tournaments, but from the way it has been for over the past 2 years, it does seem like there's a reason, but we just don't know it yet. That's,
I think of a reason of because let's say you want to make a sport, right? When you make a sport, you want to have it like in the same format as other sports so it can catch on much quicker, right? So in real life, like with other physical sports, there's always as I gave the Olympics as an example, there's always male and there's always female, right?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, esports may not have the same reasons behind why they should be male or female, but they want to keep it the same so that they can easily target groups and target groups for like special events and stuff. For example, game changers. There will
that's
be no
huge.
game changers if females were allowed to play on Belt Boys' team because there'll be no reason to capitalize on females into esports. So therefore, game changers gives them all a spotlight, right? All a spotlight to compete with other females or anyone who identifies as a female to play with them, and it's much more easy for them to get into the flow and to play the games. Because regardless of what anyone says, because of the stereotype that used to be, I don't know what it's called, the stereotype. I'm not really into this politics and stuff, but there's obviously a stereotype that women would have to be housewives and stuff. Back in the day, traditional, innit? Traditional stuff. Like women would have to be like housewives and stuff like that. Like that means that in due time, men would have more free time, right? And more
Yeah,
free time means they'll go and play games. And so they've been playing games longer than women would play games in general.
yeah,
Only now, when I don't know how many years ago that stuff stopped, that now everyone was allowed to do what they want. So eventually more women started to play games. But the amount of men that play games over women, especially competitively and at higher levels, is always going to be higher. So therefore the skill ceiling is higher because of that in the past. The same way how in America in the suburbs there's more. Okay, back in the day there was a bill where black people couldn't buy a house in the suburbs in America. That was literally a law
yeah,
that they will stop black people buying houses. So therefore in America there's more wealthy white families because the houses went up, and obviously back in the day, not because anyone was better, because of a rule, like more white families have more money because they own a house that went up in the market from back when that rule was made.
yeah,
So it's kind of like they're ahead because of something that happened in the past. So the same way as guys are more ahead in like, let's say, in the gaming world because of in the past they played it for longer. So therefore, it makes sense to separate them and then try to accelerate the group a bit faster. So then we can play in a world where everyone plays together on the same level.
mm,
So that could be a proper reason why they've done it, but I don't think it's the same reason of why it's in real sports. I
mm.
think they maybe just kept the same format so it's easy for people to investors to see how it could work and stuff like that. Hopefully you understood what I was saying.
I agree. Someone in the chat said there is no rule that states females can't participate in in a team with males, but that might be true. I think
How
it
come I haven't
does.
seen any then?
Yeah, I
I
think
haven't seen
it,
any since I started.
but I don't know either yet. I know that there's a rule for males not to play in game changers tournaments, unless they're a coach, etc. But that I don't really know of. There's also the reason that most tier one, tier two orgs that do play in big tournaments already have male teams, and if they have, I don't think any other team like a female team or an academy team can play in the same tournament. Otherwise, there'll be conflict of interest. Uh, that's also a reason why you don't see uh different teams of the same org playing in the same team in the same tournament. But yeah, uh, I'd love to see more black people in sports, and I do see a lot of female players up there, and it makes me happy every time I see a female game changes in my ranked games, I just get gassed. I'm like thinking, yeah, okay, this game's set, we already won. Or if we scrim against the female team, I don't know, but like Rich gets hella happy. I don't know what's going on with him, man. This guy and his females, man, he loves them all. But yeah, I don't think I've seen enough. But like whenever I do see a black person in esports, I always get really excited. Like when I first met Rio, and I don't know, I tend to idolize it a lot, if you know what I mean.
When I heard there's a guy called Shirashi, bro, who sounded like me, I was like, who's Shirashi? And then I clocked him. I was like, say no more, bro.
Oh, he changed his name, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know, but I was like, say no more. It's another, like, you know what I mean? Like, I always remember his name because he's black, bro, and he's radiant. I swear down, I would always remember his name just for that fact, because it's so unlikely. Like, I've been always called the Phoenix voice actor, or if I speak in game, people know it's me instantly, bro. And now there's another guy that people confuse against me. I prefer that, bro. Because I don't know when people talk who exactly who it is. I don't know. Bro, that's crazy. Imagine
I
knowing someone.
know.
You're not famous at all. The second you talk, people know it's you.
It's painful in a certain case, but in our aspect, yeah, it is kind of painful.
It's not painful, bro. Not for me. Can never
No,
let
but
that
it
go.
stops you from streaming as much as you want to.
Oh, that's because of snipers.
Yeah, exactly. That's like one aspect of it that I don't like personally. That I'd imagine you don't like.
My own team can't snipe me, bro, and I only can speak to my team.
True. Yeah. I think we're behind on PC games in general because in most families we only had a console.
Yeah. You have to be a doctor, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, how do you not get to the strict African families, fam? Oh my days.
Oh,
What do you know about that? What do you know about that, guys? What do you know about that?
Bro,
Holy sh!
I can say
everyone
about
knows the struggle. If I ever told my grandparents I wanted to play video games, I wouldn't be here, bro. I had to do this on the sly. I remember in secondary school, I used to sell cookies and donuts to buy Xbox Live to play online, bro. I was slanging them cookies and donuts, them gold bars.
The
I was,
Lucozade. Oh.
bro, I didn't even go in the Lucozade. The
My
Kool-Aid,
homework I used to do just to play some games.
watermelon Kool-Aid used to sell out in school. Oh my days, you're making £30 a day, bro.
I used to come home, go to my mom, do all the shopping she needs, do all the homework, get that shit done, then start gaming all night, and then start playing like on full mute with like no audio or like no talking or anything of the matter, just to keep playing. I used to cover myself in a whole blanket like a duvet so that no light will be showing around the room.
Yeah,
Just so my parents wouldn't see that.
So that's another reason as well. Like traditional families, they won't let you play, bro. They don't see a future in it because obviously they've come from, let's say, first generation. They've probably come from a very, very different situation than you're born into. So they know how sticky it can really get, bro. And they don't want you to waste your time because obviously you're young and they're looking out for you. But obviously, it's taken a transition, but now more recently, especially after that Fortnite World Cup tournament where people were running when the kid just won $1 million out of nowhere, everyone
Bro,
started to see like,
who wouldn't
bro,
want to
people
spoil
getting paid
you?
for this. It was on news and everything.
Of course, you're the type
Like,
to get
people
spoiled.
paid for this, and then COVID came, and then people couldn't go out to work, so people started streaming, and then people blew up from Twitch and everything.
In a good way, plus.
That this online thing, this esports space, this gaming space, you can literally make life-changing money from it, like it was an actual sport. And I feel like that's a transition that's going to take a little bit more time to get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
And then it'll become more like something that you can do. Because as far as I was concerned, it's much more of like, think about how much a good PC to get 400 FPS is. Yeah? Think about how much it is.
Talking like 5 bags.
No.
4 bags.
2.5.
Yeah,
2,500 to have a good, decent PC.
Yeah, 2K won't get you through a Vive Pro, bro. That'll drop your frames in half. You need a 5K. You need a 5, bro.
I said 5K.
Vive for Retail breaks your FPS, man. You need a higher one.
2.5K, fam. Let me break it down for you, bro.
Yep.
Ryzen, £300 for a good Ryzen processor. That flipping, Ryzen 9, Ryzen 9 is 4 bills. Ryzen 9, 4 bills, yeah. The graphics card, 3070 Ti. Another 6-8 bills. Cool. That's 1 point something. That's 1.3K, right? Or no way, that's okay. you've got another K to buy the cheapest components in your whole PC. That's calm. You can get a nice PC for 2,000, bro. For 1,000 if you're really trying to cut it in half.
Mine
the budget,
is
man.
my budget's like my piece is about 1,000. Can't lie, but I need an upgrade.
Do you have Ryzen? Do you have Ryzen CPU?
Yeah.
Which one?
Ryzen 5? No, wait, no, let me check. I can't remember. No, wait, no. I have Nvidia GPU.
It's a CPU.
Task manager. Yeah. Ryzen 5 3060. No, that's 3600.
Yeah, so if you had a Ryzen 9 now, you would never drop FPS, bro.
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, cool.
Especially
So
if
let's
you're
break it down.
streaming.
Let's go back to what we're speaking about. So a PC, 2.5 if you want to have a really, really high end PC, right?
Yeah.
Not really, really high, but you want to have a very good PC with no problems for a couple of years. 2,500. Back in the day, when esports was first starting, right? Let's say now, back in the day, I didn't have 2.5K. I couldn't ask my parents for it. But there's many kids who play these computer games who have a mad PC. They came from very like they were privileged. Their parents were up, so their parents probably bought them a PC. They jumped on, they started playing competitively, right? But for people like me and you, who our parents weren't willing to spend 2,500 on a piece of metal, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
what it looked like to them. Like to me, it's like I had to wait, get a job, and buy and fund my PC before I started competing or seeing that I can compete and see the actual worth of playing games. And a lot of people don't even get to see that because when they get to my age, they go on to start doing they start to look for their career paths and everything.
Mm.
So it's like if I didn't take the time out to build my own PC to fully experience it, like I wouldn't be here in this position. I feel like a lot of people are not here because of that reason.
Yeah.
Because I feel like to get a PC is more like a rich people thing, like a privilege thing, because
I
of how
agree.
expensive it is to get started. Like the entry fee. Once you're in, but the entry fee is over 1,000. It's not cheap. It's not like a games console. You can spend 4 bills. Games console is the biggest scam on this earth, bro. How can you spend 5 bills
Oh my
and you have to upgrade in 2 years and you have
days.
to spend another 5 bills? If you just saved all that money, if you
You
bought
can
And you
PS,
get a PC
if you
instead.
bought PlayStation, yeah, if you bought PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you could have bought a nice PC that will last you for the rest of your life.
And it's much better.
If you look at the prices and you add it all up, you at least have 1,500 or maybe even
A
more.
PS4 for 60 FPS.
If you add how much you pay for games, you can add even more. Like you could literally buy a PC with that money you spend on consoles.
Literally.
It's crazy, man.
And then controllers are the same price all year as well. How much is a PS4 controller? A PS5 controller? It's so expensive.
It's like
But you
£50 for a controller.
You can use that with a PC though, so it's calm.
But yeah, the FPS is never as good as what the PC does, man. I don't think we'll ever see a 240 hertz console.
No, you will definitely. They'll just get more expensive.
Yeah. That's when
Well, you could just bought a PC, bro.
by the time that will come out, the 360 hertz will be normalized, bro.
No.
On
We've reached the
PC, on
plateau.
PC.
We reached the plateau in PC. We reached the part. We reached a place where we don't need to upgrade any further. Everything else, it's like 4K TVs. You don't have to have a 4K TV. 6K, 8K is all coming out. 16K is out in movies type features. You don't have to have that. It's just an extra thing that you have if you have extra money lying around. It's gonna be like that with PCs. You have 360 hertz. You don't need 360 hertz.
Hey Kai, welcome
You don't need
back, bro. How you
1,000
doing?
FPS. You don't need the best Ryzen processor to play the game, but you can if you want to. And I think that's what it's gonna get like. Well, it's already there, to be honest. Yeah.
Just before we ask you the last few questions, does anyone else want to ask more podcast questions using the channel points below? If so, do use it, and we'll move on to a few final questions. So the next question is, how does one start becoming a professional player in Valorant?
Okay, once
So
again,
say you
I
spoke to a
can't.
newbie right now.
So I can't, because I haven't done it myself. I'm not a pro player yet. I can't give you the actual steps to become a pro player, but I can tell you the steps to maybe get like your foot in the door, I would say, in such sense.
Yeah.
So the first thing, step one, is you need to get to Immortal 3. You need to grind to Immortal 3, yeah, at least once in your career. If you haven't grinded to Immortal 3 and you're trying to get into pro play, I wouldn't suggest it's the best thing for you, because you're going to be lacking so much experience that back in the day, like to play in VCT, you had to be Immortal 3 minimum. Or I think it was and they changed it to Immortal, I think. But first of all, it was Immortal 3, I think, or Immortal 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, grind to Immortal 3. If you can grind to Immortal 3, you're then ready, because your rank matches are you're gonna be playing against people. You've basically shown that you've played the game and you can grind up to a certain rank. And now then you can then start working on your own theory craft, like your own you try to find a few players that you trust and you can play. You could probably meet them on your journey to Immortal 3. You join Discords, which are LFT, and people are actively looking for teams and stuff, looking for projects, looking for teams. You find a project or a team, and you find people who are about the same goal as you. Unfortunately, in this LFT space, you're gonna find a lot of people who are just in it for the fun. People who are not that serious. You're gonna find people who are late all the time, or people who put IRL before their gaming, right? And that won't work, obviously. I've seen it before. Someone tries to like work and then come home and prac, and then prac he's playing like he does not focus, he's tired, because obviously he's a human being, bro. You know what I mean? So it's like I've seen it all before, and all of that is just a setback, because when one person leaves, especially, you basically essentially, especially during projects, when one person leaves, the whole project kind of falls apart, and then you're back to square one. So you kind of want to early on, before you invest any time, make sure everyone's on the same page,
Yep.
and everyone's putting your goal. Everyone's on the same goals, and they're putting the goals first before
Yep.
themselves. So that's number one. Once you find a decent project, and then you as a team need to practice, watch VODs together, like pro VODs, watch pro matches together, like VCT, champion, stuff like that. Talk about it to your friends, duo queue with your teammates, and you guys need to make sure everyone's on the same mentality. Don't flip after every mistake. Make sure you try to give positive vibes, and then essentially you want to get a VLR page. You want to work towards getting a VLR page, and the best way to get that is to look for tournaments that have a VLR page, right? So you can easily search that if you look on vlr.gg. You check out upcoming tournaments, and you check out which tournaments are like open qualifiers so that anyone can join. You also check on like challenger mode and stuff like that. I think there's another website
Spike GG.
there's another website for tournaments.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
can't really remember it, my bad. But yeah,
There's
there's
Discords
just
for it.
yeah, you look for different tournaments, different Discord leagues and stuff like that. And then you and your team, you just play to qualify for them. And if you qualify and you do well in those tournaments, you get a VLR page, and then that will help you get more opportunities moving forward, because that's what people check in it, like at the beginning. Like they check all your stats and stuff on VLR before they even get to talking to you. Usually, you usually put a link in your LFT post, and people click on that. And if it looks decent, the experience looks good, they will contact you for further questions. And that's usually how it goes. So unfortunately, they made it kind of hard to get a VLR page, which does make sense, I guess. You don't want everyone to get a VLR page so it gets saturated. You want to have good quality, not quantity. But yeah, that's how you'd work towards it. And
Yeah.
it isn't it for the long run. You do have to put in a lot of time. Prepare it does take long. It takes long to find good people, good like-minded people who grind with you. It takes time to get results as well, because again, you're playing against people who do this all day, every day, and get paid. So you're gonna have to be able to make those sacrifices, and it does get hard. But you need to make sure your mindset is solid, and you're not gonna give up after one loss and stuff and disband. Because just think about it, a lot of people just disband after one loss. But all that time you put in with that team is essentially down the drain.
Yeah.
when it disbands. So that's what a lot of people don't understand, and they start from square one, and they're just stuck in limbo, and they just LFT all the time because they can't find people to play with when they should be looking for stuff long term. Because if you're going to invest in something, long term investments are more likely, even in life, to get life changing outcomes than short term investments that happen just once in the blue moon randomly. So yeah, so you essentially want to work towards a VLR, and then once you get a VLR, you want to get into VRCs, a team that's competing for VRCs. And yeah, once you get into VRCs, you just compete your hardest there. Once you qualify for that, you'll be on the right road to going pro, I guess. But it's a very long road.
When do you reckon the best time is to look for a team? Because I do see people putting up looking for team posts when tournaments are about. I don't think that's the right time, because why would you expect people to pick you up when they already have a team competing?
I don't think people do it because they know, and I think it's kind of stupid that people would know. They'll put an LFT post when they know that a team already has a team to compete. It's not like that. People usually put LFT posts before tournaments because they haven't found a team, so they're looking for a mix. So people just to get together, just to play the tournament, just for the sake of playing it. Like a bunch of 5 players. It's very common, but a bunch of like 5 players who just say, "Cool, let's just set up a team and let's go." Hardly any practice, and that was kind of a culture for a long time. I didn't really indulge in that culture because I didn't think anything will come out for it. It's like you just creating a random 5-a-side team and competing on Sunday League. Like, you're not always gonna win because there's people who've been together for like X amount of time who are gonna have everything set together. They know how to play with each other. They're gonna always have an advantage, and I just don't think it's worth your time if you're gonna play against people with an advantage all the time.
Yeah. Are you planning? What are your plans on competing at any upcoming events? Enlighten everyone.
What are my plans?
Yeah. Are there any upcoming events that you have?
Uh, Not that no one's aware of already.
So everyone already knows about Heat Academy competing in VRC right now every week in the weekends for the Benelux tournament. They're playing again next Saturday and Sunday to qualify for the Rumble stage, which will be exciting. Hopefully next week is going to be casted this time in the 6th. But
Yeah.
yeah, that'll be exciting. That'll be exciting. One of my favorite questions I'd like to start asking people is where can people find out more about you?
It's my Twitter. I post any like major updates there, to be honest. If I stream, I post it on Twitter as well. And I'm mostly always on Twitter just looking at the random stuff that comes on my timeline. So that's mainly it. Obviously, I do have Discord, but I'm very like sometimes I'm unresponsive, so I don't want anyone to feel like I'm airing them on purpose. Sometimes I
Yeah,
just go AFK randomly. So I prefer Twitter so I can just, the expectation is not there for me to reply instantly. It's just, when I can. If you have any questions, just ask.
go for it. That's A1mstar's Twitter, guys, and Rio's Twitter as well. Let me plug in DarkS1t as well. Hey, also, have you guys been drinking during the podcast?
I got my lemonade.
You guys get lemonade. Are you hydrating, Rio?
Oh, I thought you meant drinking.
Oh no, we don't drink here.
I
We
was
don't drink.
confused, bro. I was
Nah, we
confused. I was
don't
like,
use that at the time no more. We don't drink. We don't drink as players. We don't drink. Yeah. We have a couple of questions. Kai said, favorite anime in.
favorite anime?
Yeah.
Uh, Mob Psycho, bro.
Mob Psycho. They released the opening for Mob Psycho 3, by the way, if you want to see that on YouTube. It's on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
How about you, Rio?
I'll bring it back 2 seconds.
Yep.
Favorite anime? I don't really have one, really. I like different genres of anime, but I don't really have like a set favorite anime I can go to. Be like, yeah,
All right. Well, what's your favorite genre? Then?
no, like not like set genre. I mean,
Okay.
like I like all types of genre of anime. I'm not really like one that could just like definitively like I would. I don't have like one anime where I'd be like definitively like I will just say yes all the time, 100%. You know what I mean? That's just me. Though.
I hear that. I hear that. There's a lot, isn't there? There's a lot.
What about you? You have a favorite anime?
One Piece.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
One Piece. Popo knows about it, bro. Rooftop Piece. You'll see. You know about it. When you know, if you know, you know. Roof Piece. The greatest out there right now. The greatest. The greatest. Ashwin, if you're still here, you have a question, but it's more of advice than a question. So, what is the advice you're looking for, Ashwin?
I am back. Sorry, I was
Was that
was
not even
Tito.
close? All right.
Yeah, I'm back.
Ashwin redeemed for certain advice. Not certain advice. Actually, I lied. He asked for any advice.
Me? From me?
Yeah.
About what?
Generally, it wasn't precise in any way.
About life? About Valorant?
What's your first initial advice that comes to your head?
About life?
Yeah.
About life is just try to live try to live as stress free as possible, bro. I think I kind of said that a bit wrong. But anything that stresses you, no matter if it's your job, no matter if it's someone around you, anything that makes you feel some type of way, you need to find a way how to get out of that as soon as possible. Because unless like you're stressing yourself out for like personal goals. So like let's say I'll call gym as an example. Gym is kind of stressful to certain people when they're first starting out, but it benefits you in the long run.
Yeah.
Unless it's something along those lines, you should cut it out as soon as possible because in this life you only live once. Yeah. And you wanna anything that you wanna do in your life, you wanna at least say you've tried your best, you gave it your all. And that way, when it's your time to go, when you're nearing your time, you can look back at it and say, yeah, I actually really tried. I actually really accomplished it. But I did my best, so I didn't do it. And you'll be much more happier in that way in the rest of your life. Then if you say, oh man, I should have done this when I was younger, like that type of feeling is the worst feeling because you can't go back and change it. But when you think about something that you actually tried and maybe failed, you're still going to be happy that you tried. And that's something that I feel like a lot of people are not doing. They're just saying, I'm just not going to do it because it's long. And then when they grow up and that, they'll be like, oh, I really could have tried it. And you just want to avoid that type of experience to yourself. Just be as happy as possible. And yeah, don't involve yourself with arguments and friction.
Bro, are you serious?
Just try your best to keep away from that type of stuff, and you'll be much more happier.
Honestly, I think Ashwin needs to hear that. Bro, I genuinely respect you for coming up and messaging that on the podcast. That takes a lot of bravery. Holy, okay. So Ashwin has said, my message is too long for the podcast question, but to summarize it down, it's more about suicide and it's not a joke. And I don't think I will. I'm more or less just thinking about it.
Yeah, that's a very, very weighted question.
Yeah.
First I would say is that I'm not qualified like therapist and stuff to speak about
No.
like suicide and stuff. But I'll give you some advice because obviously everyone goes through stuff in life, and that image does like that thought does go through a lot of people's minds, and it maybe not as deep as other people. But the way I thought of those thoughts is, I just thought of someone who is less fortunate as me, who has no choice. Just think of every time you feel that way about yourself, just think to yourself, how worse could it be? How worse could what I'm feeling, or the situation that put me in this situation that made me feel this way, how worse could it be? Because when I was young, I remember I was feeling very sorry for I was feeling very, very like sorry for myself and very like saying I want to harm myself. But then my mother just showed me a video of some guy in a third world country, no internet, and showed me their day-to-day life. And then the guy's carrying like I don't know how many, he's carrying like gallons of water, which is dirty, which he'll probably die from because it's dirty and it's not purified. And he's doing that, carrying it for miles and miles a day, every day. You know, so and then I compare my life to his life or that person's life. I'm thinking, there's no way I could never feel this way. If there's people out there way worse than I. If I lived this life and then I had to start living their life, in a third world, I would definitely feel way worse than I am than any situation that's happened to me in my life currently. If I had to stop playing Valorant and stop living my life in London and go to, let's say, one of my ethnic backgrounds, if I went to Uganda and I had to start going over there and doing all like the stuff in the village and stuff, yeah, bro, that would be way more worse than anything that I've gone through in my life in London. And there's people out there who go through that type of stuff and they keep living their life, they keep smiling, they keep finding a way how to live their life and continue. So if they can do it, we can do it. We're both human at the end of the day, regardless of where you're born and your circumstances.
Yeah.
So that's why I used to kind of program myself to not fall down that hole and that trap of like being depressed and being depressed because you're depressed. Like that is a real dangerous trap that people need to realize and look out for their friends. Depression is such a serious thing, bro,
Mm.
because you be depressed and then you stop wanting to speak to people, yeah, and then you start getting depressed because you don't speak to no one.
Yeah.
That's the trap I'm trying to explain. That's very, very dangerous because it's like an infinite loop, and it's very hard to get out of. So with the thoughts, first of all, you should try to seek as much help as you can. There's many hotlines out there if you're having suicidal thoughts. You need to find out what's making you think that way. You need to compare it to the worst case scenario of how compare it to, like, try to just look at a documentary about any third world country. Look at a documentary about it, or look at a documentary about in America. Do you know how many kids in America grow up without their families, bro? Like in like New York and stuff, they grow up without any families. They grew up in like the care home. What's it called? The social services. That's what they call it in America. Like life over there is really, really tough. You know what I'm saying? And if you haven't lived that type of life or gone through those experiences, you should then compare your life to that and then look at the bright side, and be thankful for all the things you do have at the moment. No matter how little there would be, it could always get worse. And that's why you have to always be thankful for what you have and just try to make it better. And obviously talk to a lot of your friends. One thing that I didn't really do is speak to like friends and get a different perspective. And I used to be like so confident in because I'm an only child, right? So I didn't really have the siblings to like someone, a big bro to like teach me the ways, or a little bro to look after. I was always on my one, so I always thought my way is the right way, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not always that, bro. Because of how we are as human beings and the so many different cultures that they are in this world, there's always someone who's gonna know something, a better way to do it. There's always someone who's gonna interpret situations the right way while you interpret it the wrong way, just because you're used to it. And those type of people are the people that you only find if you communicate. And it's good for you to find a community, a community where you feel comfortable, or you have that one person to speak and just be yourself to. Because once you can be yourself, you lift all the weight off your shoulders. You have less pressure on you. You're less likely to have all those bad thoughts.
Yeah.
And that's just my advice. Just find someone to speak to, and they'll give you. And it doesn't have to be a therapist, but a therapist will be your best bet because they can literally change your life. Like, it's not a joke. They study this stuff. Thing people don't like, people don't rate about therapy is that they think, oh, I don't know this person. Why am I telling this stranger my business? Listen, they're almost like doctors. Like doctors, you can let a doctor open your insides apart, do an operation on you because they've studied 9-10 years. They studied medicine for like so long, and they've become a doctor, and they know what they're doing. The same things with therapists. Like they don't just let anyone be a therapist. Like that shit could be a crime if you're giving therapy sessions to people and you're not qualified. You can get in trouble for that because it is serious. People do study for it, and people do know what they're saying when they say, do this, write a book to yourself every day, right? Do that. Give yourself letters of confidence every day, because that stuff is proven to help. But yeah, a lot of people just need to tap into that type of stuff, especially if they feel like it's affecting their day-to-day life. As I come back to it, our goal as humans should to be to enjoy our life for as much time as possible, because time you don't get back.
Yeah.
The more time in your life you spend laughing and happying, it's much better than you spending, like, let's say you have a job that you don't like and you're grinding out that job continuously and you don't like it. You're living your life so miserable, so that when, let's say, you're unfortunate enough to be diagnosed with something that could give you a limited amount of time left, you're gonna be that period is gonna be you're gonna feel so bad because you didn't live your life to the fullest. There's so much stuff you could have done to make yourself happy, but you didn't do it because you're just chasing the money. That's just an example. Then if it's a guy who's in a third world country singing all the time at the top of his lungs, yeah, and then he gets diagnosed with something serious, he's gonna be still happy, bro, because he spent most of his life happy. That's what some people need to prioritize more than anything else. But if you're gonna grind for something, go ahead and grind for it. The grind is not easy. The grind is not something that you'd be happy about. I know I sound kind of like I'm contradicting myself, but I'll use the gym analogy again. If gym, you hate gym you will hate it when you first start gym. You hate it. You would hate every push up. You would hate every bicep curl. You hate every rep. But then when you after 1 year or like 3 months of going gym or 6 months of going gym and you see your body, you're gonna love yourself for that, bro. And that's like everyone needs to tell the difference between those two things. It's good to grind. Yeah, but yeah.
Honestly, I second everything that he was talking about. We've discussed a lot about this before in our own time as well. I'm familiar with everything that A1mstar said. I've already sent you the details on hotlines, etc. in the chat as well while A1mstar was speaking. Frankly, I think that was the first time I ever multitasked listening while typing at the same time. I don't think I've ever done that before personally. Rio, do you have anything you want to add?
I 100% agree. Like talk to friends, especially. It really does help. It really does help. I would just say, and that's all I will say about that.
Get a different perspective.
Mm-mm.
Your own brain can make it look as worse as your brain can make something feel as look. Let's like if you have a cold and you Google, "Oh, my nose is blocked," and you Google it and you see a madness. That's your brain, bro.
Yeah,
Your brain
yeah.
has all the information, but it doesn't have all the answers. Just let your brain has all the information, but not all the answers.
Story shed
Just
and
leave
you're
it as
halfway
that.
there, bro.
And it's best is never to bottle things up as well, because when you
Mm.
bottle
It's
things
bad.
in, it's bad because it can just turn from bad to worse. Because like you're desperately trying to say something to something, but you're just like you can't really, like you do feel like you can't. Because like, well, back in the day, like with me personally, I would say like when I was not in a good state, I would just keep things to myself. I still do, but I will speak to a lot more people about it now. So, like even during lockdown, like lockdown Groundhog Day, and I hated it so much because it was just like the same thing: wake up, load on my laptop, go work, and then at the end of the day, just play Val, which was actually the nice part of the day, which was just playing Val and then go and doing the same thing over and over again for like that whole period of lockdown. Second period was the worst as well. So, like speaking to people and like friends and just speaking to my mum, like really,
Yeah.
it really did help me a lot. So I would say that's what I would say. Never just try not to bottle things up.
Shout out Rion's mom, man. She's so kind. So kind. But yeah, there's for a person like you, or a person like anyone in this community that we have, they have so many more reasons to stay to be happier than to be depressed. But sadly, unfortunately, depression really eats you out a lot more than happiness can give you sometimes. Everyone has their own personal lives that they like to hide. Bottling it up can always be really hard. It's easier to bottle it up than to lay out. That's why everyone gives you respect where it's due. When you do come out with it, and you do shoulder on, but it's way worth more. It's way worth more to come out and say it. So much respect goes out to you, Ashwin. I appreciate it, man. Yeah.
It's really strong to say your vulnerabilities. Any vulnerability,
Mm-hmm.
really strong to ask for help, and especially on like a place like Twitch chat as well, where everyone can see. It's really commendable for someone to be out there, because there's always that person who's gonna feel the same way as you, but he's never gonna tell anyone. But you still help them in that way.
Yeah, facts. But yeah, man. I think that wraps it up. I think I've done with all the topics and questions at hand. I assume you guys are like drained out because I think we've gone past 2 hours now. Have we? Yeah, we've gone past 2 hours, in Rio. For your first podcast, how do you feel? Do you feel like it was too much? Do you feel like you've said everything that you wanted to answer? There's light work.
5 more hours.
5 more hours.
5 more hours. 24-hour podcast on there, yeah? So let's.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
How the hell that make it to YouTube? I'll break my PC. Yeah, man. Appreciate having you here, man. It was like it was sort of like an insight as to how our personal conversations go, and it doesn't feel new to me, but obviously this is new for everyone else in the stream, and I reckon it doesn't feel new to Rio either because we're all good friends like that. Yeah, podcast was lit. I'm definitely gonna watch this back. I can't lie. Appreciate you a lot. Appreciate you guys a lot. Carry on. Yeah.
Can we bring back 2 nades on Raze when she started out back in beta?
Oh yeah, and the Ares buff as well. You want to bring that back too?
Oh, let's not bring back the Ares, but Ares back.
Oh no, just bring back Raze's ult, fam. I don't care. Any more multi kills, bro? When I ult, man. I have to aim at you like I'm playing with an ult, bro. That's what. Literally, I have to aim on the body of the enemy just to get the kill with the Raze ult because it's so weak.
You tag someone 148 and then they
bro.
you.
Yeah, you put the
actually hard.
You send a rocket right next to someone's toe, and their toenail just gets cut a bit, and then they kill you.
Actually tough, bro. Actually tough. Buff Raze, yeah. Buff Raze, buff Humi. Who's gonna get more tough than buff Raze like that? But yeah, thank you guys so much. Hope to see you guys back again in the chat, if not on the podcast again sometime. When A1mstar becomes a world champion one day, I'm gonna have him back here. Or if he wins Masters and Champions as well. I'll be there. Don't watch.
Funny guy, bro. Hilarious.
Yes. Next week I already have my guest confirmed. It's I'm gonna give you guys a hint. It's a female player. It's a female signed player. So that's gonna be very exciting.
I suppose.
So I'm never having this guy back. You're not coming back. Thanks for that, bro. All that 2 hours is nothing. I'm joking. Shit. Okay, it's out there. It's gonna be Intrepid Fox B. We have a lot to talk about. She's very excited. She's a very, very good friend, and
I was actually right, Nadurii.
I thought. Don't tell me you guessed it. No way you guessed it.
How would I know?
No way you guessed it.
Hey, bro. Okay, how would I know? Tell me.
How did you get it right? Why was that the first thing you said?
Did you ever tell me?
Rati, that's mad.
Nadurii, did you ever tell me exactly?
How would I know then?
How would I know? I didn't Men in Black you and wipe your memory, bro. There's no way I would have known.
Were you in the call when I was talking with her about podcast?
No. When I was in the call, bro.
Okay,
bro, you would know if I was there.
How the hell did you get it though? I don't understand.
He's tripping.
You got me tripping, bro.
I just made a guess and you confirmed it.
Yeah, you confirmed it straight away.
You confirmed it straight away.
I thought you knew.
No.
How would I know? Bro, you act like I hacked your PC, bro. I'm inside the mainframe. No.
The fact that you got it right and tripped me up, I swear to God. It genuinely tripped me up. There you have it, guys. Now you know who it is next week. Awesome.
That was a little hint. Next week, don't get the whole thing.
You did mention it the one time the other day. I only did mention that I have a female player for the podcast next week, but I didn't say it was B. I didn't say it was B.
Watch, now you're gonna tell everyone I spot it, bro. Nice try.
I'm clipping this. But
You see his face as well.
I don't think he spoiled it. I don't think he spoiled it. The fact that you got it right first try is crazy to me. It tripped me up. That's why I said, how did you know?
Guys, let me tell you Naduri's secret, yeah?
What's my
Just
secret?
guess something random, bro, and Naduri will confirm it or not, bro. It's so easy. It's so easy. He doesn't know how to bluff at all. He doesn't know how to bluff.
Oh gosh, man.
He's not a poker player.
Thank you for another W podcast. I appreciate it. Thank you. I don't play poker in my life, bro. I don't think I can do it. I don't want to do it. But yeah, let's rate somebody and then let's rate somebody.
Yeah, he's right. Readable.
I am kind of readable. I'm a bad liar. I can't lie.
When's Sumi streaming? We should make a podcast about that.
Yeah.
Who be streaming? That'd be exciting. I can't lie. That'd be very exciting. Who should we rate, guys? Should we rate someone brand new we've never rated before, or a friend in our community? Do you guys reckon? We got Lifnik, Shaolin Bro, Rose, Soju, Tomo, Popo, D Slides, Wolf, Jemima. Or do you want to get someone brand new?
Okay.
Rate someone big or someone close like a friend. We'll do Lifnix.
Who's Ifnix?
Lifnix is a Radiant player who I have 5-stack with sometimes.
Yeah. I don't have anyone, bro. So.
Actually, no. Let's do something interesting. Actually, let's find someone brand new. See someone in Valorant.
Go raid Soju.
Soju's had enough of my raids, no? You guys want Soju? You guys actually want Soju? I raid Soju. I was thinking Soju or someone brand new with like a very low number of viewers. Hello?
What, playing Valorant?
Yeah.
That's long to find. Actually, not really.
Yeah.
There's so many 0 viewers. What?
Yeah. If you go from lows to high,
it's peak.
Bro, you have to go from high to low.
I'm going from low to high. I'm gonna see someone.
You actually have to go to high to low.
You're gonna be infinite. There's infinite 0 viewers, bro.
That's crazy.
It would just be one. So
it would be 1 viewer, then be 2 viewers, and then be 3 viewers. It will take you years.
That's fine. I'll just 0. I'm okay with the 0, bro. Just keep it, like, increase it for them. Let's get them started as well. I want someone with a face cam who speaks English.
What people do, what I used to do is that you look for people like, let's say someone's on 15 viewers, yeah, and you're gonna raid with like 15 viewers, and you get to 30. That's like a milestone for them, innit? That's not gonna most likely be their peak. So you can try it if someone's on 3 viewers and you have 7 raiders, you get him to 10. He's gonna remember that day. Just think of it like that.
Okay, yeah, that's really good. I want to do that. You have someone for me? Okay. Wait, this guy has 12 viewers. He's doing better than me. No. I want someone who's just starting out, if you know what I mean. Is he just starting out? 6.7k followers. Are you kidding me, Humi? Should I ban you? Humi. That guy's bigger than me. KK for Valorant solo queue. Yeah, this is fine, right? This guy's got tattoos and stuff. Let's do this. Okay.
Or raid Pegasus, bro. Epic Land champion.
Oh, the one with the beard and that.
Yeah.
Nah, I already have someone to raid now. Ricky Moto. He has 1 viewer and he's been streaming for an hour.
They walled it, that means they're going.
Oh, that's why I thought you'd be interested. Oh no. I wanted to rate someone who would love the views more than someone who's already very popular. So yeah, let's rate Ricky, guys. I appreciate you guys for coming to the stream. Thank you guys so much for the podcast today. Next week will be lit. Thank you so much to Aim and Rio for being here today. And yeah, show him some love. Bye bye, guys.
Peace, guys.
Bye bye. Peace. Have a good rest of your night.
Peace. Bye bye.